WWE WrestleMania Backlash kicks off with Sheamus defeating Ricochet on the kickoff pre-show. Sheamus, as of late, has been issuing open challenges for his newly won United States Championship. Ricochet now another culprit for the Celtic Warrior. Now he's on the mic. Alright, he's going to put his robe and hat back on. He cut a little bit of a promo before this match began, with Ricochet coming out in street clothes. And about a 10-minute match that, of course, just concluded there now seconds ago. So, Sheamus still your United States champion. Looks like he's going to cut another promo here, fella. It's been Mansoor, Humberto Carrillo for the most part. He's now injured, it looks like. Ricochet tonight, so we'll see what they do with the United States Championship moving forward. Ricochet actually going to attack. Takes the hat off of Sheamus' head, puts it on his own, and then hits him with a drop kick into the ropes. Gonna do what Shinsuke Nakamura did to King Corbin on Friday Night SmackDown the other night, with Nakamura defeating Corbin in that match. However, tonight, of course, Sheamus defeating Ricochet. But opponents, well, actually, Ricochet gonna give it all back before he exits the ring. So maybe Ricochet is a contender for Sheamus' U.S. title moving forward. We'll see. There's a few other contenders out there as well, but it looks like the King of Strong Style is back. Long story short, with Nakamura taking the crown from King Baron Corbin as he dethroned the King on Friday SmackDown. Ricochet with a dab after stealing Sheamus' wardrobe, and then standing tall post-match in a losing effort on this kickoff pre-show for tonight's WWE pay-per-view in WrestleMania Backlash, as they fade to black, and they'll have a COVID commercial. Speaking of fading to black, Aleister Black is in fact back as well on the blue brand on the SmackDown side of things, which is a good sign moving forward as well. Only time's going to tell with the booking and all future storylines on how they'll use him, along with, of course, as it always is, all the other talent up on the main roster. NXT on Tuesday nights now. We'll have NXT TakeOver in your house about a month away from now, so hopefully you'll subscribe if you haven't done so already and tune back in then. That'll be Sunday, June the 13th, so actually a little less than a month away for the next official pay-per-view in the WWE, and it'll be officially an NXT TakeOver, as we'll have Money in the Bank and Extreme Rules order on that. We'll see over the next few months on the road to WWE SummerSlam. But yes, tonight, WWE WrestleMania Backlash, as Backlash is back to the next and first pay-per-view after WrestleMania, as it always should be. Hopefully we don't get a SummerSlam payback, though, at the end of the summer, as they sort of course, change the name up for this event here tonight. Last year it was Backlash with the greatest wrestling match ever. Of course, if you remember back to last June with Randy Orton and Edge. But tonight, WrestleMania Backlash, we got a few championship matches in singles competition and in triple threat. We'll get into those in a second, but thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube of WWE WrestleMania Backlash. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Luke at 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. That thumbs up button. Share hashtag WWE, hashtag WM Backlash for WrestleMania Backlash. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated as well. This final video package hyping up a championship match that is still yet to come later on tonight. It'll be a triple threat for the WWE title with Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman. This vignette closing video package for the kickoff pre-show is underway, highlighting the most recent history, of course, with Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman. So that will be a triple threat championship match. The two triple threat championship matches are from Monday Night Raw. The two single championship matches are from SmackDown. We also have a tag team championship match as well, along with a Lumberjack match too. So, yeah, I would say a typical WWE pay-per-view. Somewhat very predictable in my eyes, and I'll go over my picks here in a second with continuing on with what's to come tonight for WWE WrestleMania Backlash. Hashtag WM Backlash once more. And if you do on social media, at least on Twitter, they'll have the little WWE Championship logo at the end of that hashtag. So once more, thank you for tuning in and watching, and be sure, if you haven't done so already, subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button, little notification bell next to it, as well as stay up to date. Keep an eye out for upcoming videos right here on the channel in the coming weeks and months to come. But thank you once more for tuning in and watching my WrestleMania Backlash live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube. It's been a while, actually. Today, exactly 1 month ago today, I should say, excuse me, was the last time I was actually on live streaming pro wrestling, at least. I was on, of course, for the NFL draft there a few weeks back. But it was the SmackDown after Mania, a day after, of course, Samoa Joe was released from the company. Roman Reigns, of course, still your Universal Champion. That is when they sort of started this current feud with Reigns and Cesaro for the Universal title, in which we'll get a championship match later on tonight. So, yeah, it's been a while for pro wrestling reactions right here on the channel as we go to the kickoff panel with Caleb Braxton, Booker T, JBL, and Peter Rosenberg. So, final few minutes here for the WWE WrestleMania Backlash kickoff pre-show on the WWE Network on Peacock. But thank you for tuning in and watching. So, yeah, a lot has happened in the past month with the WWE Pro Wrestling in general. We've had a few other pay-per-views and special events in other companies as well. But tonight, Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash. It's still Backlash. But excited, even though, as mentioned, yeah, it seems like it's your, or at least going to be on paper, your typical WWE pay-per-view. However, they could surprise us with a swerve or two throughout the night. Somewhat predictable for the most part. No Raw Tag Team Championship match, but we do have a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match with Rude and Ziggler against the Mysterios and Rey and Dominic Mysterio. They actually beat up Dominic about 15 minutes or so ago now on the kickoff pre-show backstage, so we'll have to see what his status is for later on tonight, if he'll be good to go or not. I would assume so, yes, but you know, Rey might have a surprise tag team partner for all of us to still challenge the Dirty Dogs and Rude and Ziggler for the SmackDown tag team titles later on tonight. We're going to get into everything that's been going on, so stick around. But tonight, as a preview here, the WWE Championship Triple Threat match with Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman. It is, in fact, a Triple Threat WWE Championship match that should main event later on tonight. It's either going to be this or the Universal Championship match with Reigns and Cesaro. We'll see. I did hear that the Triple Threat Raw Women's Championship match will in fact kick off the show with Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair. So a few minutes away from that. But it'll be a Triple Threat WWE Championship match with Lashley, McIntyre, and Strowman once more. And then on the SmackDown side of things, we have the big dog, Tribal Chief, head of the table, Roman Reigns, that we should all acknowledge defending his WWE Universal Championship against the Swiss Superman, Cesaro. So Reigns and Cesaro and the other championship matchup later on tonight. Don't be surprised if Seth Rollins interferes, costs Cesaro the match. Technically, it would be a DQ then at that point. Cesaro would technically win, but Reigns, because he's champion, would retain. So, yeah. Your two main championship matches, Lashley, McIntyre, and Strowman for the WWE title, and then for the Universal title, Reigns and Cesaro once more. The two SmackDown championship matches, the other two SmackDown championship matches, I should say, along with that Universal Championship match with Reigns and Cesaro once more. It'll be Bianca Belair and Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Expect Sasha Banks to get involved one way or another. And then, as mentioned, the SmackDown Tag Team titles will also be on the line as the Dirty Dogs, Bobby Roode, Robert Roode, and Dolph Ziggler will defend against the Mysterios. We also, as mentioned, have Rhea Ripley and Asuka, along with Charlotte Flair, who is inserted as of late in a Triple Threat Raw Women's Championship match as well. As mentioned, though, too, no WWE Raw Tag Team title matchup with AJ Styles and Omos, or the mid-cards, but then they just added in Cesaro, or Sheamus, former tag team partner of Cesaro's, in the Bar. We Are the Bar. They added in Sheamus's open challenge for the U.S. title to the kickoff pre-show, in which we saw as we came on live this evening with Sheamus and Ricochet. However, no Intercontinental Championship match tonight either. However, they did announce on SmackDown just the other night, this upcoming Friday night on SmackDown will be a Fatal 4 Championship match with Apollo Crews, Big E, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. So, a Fatal 4-way just a few days from now. So we'll see what the future holds for a few matchups, few storylines that aren't included tonight, along with everything, of course, that is, and we will in fact have Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair kick off the night for the Raw Women's title for WrestleMania Backlash from the WWE Thunderdome in Tampa, on the campus now of South Florida. So we'll see how much bullshit WWE throws our way here tonight as we hit the warning, and we'll have the opening video package with the then, now, forever together WWE and the WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view here tonight. Then, now, forever. But then they fixed it up, of course, as of late, a month ago for WrestleMania 37, and now it's WWE together. So that opening video package now next for WrestleMania Backlash. As we'll head back to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where WrestleMania 37, of course, took place. That two-night spectacular. As they, of course, the past 2 years, especially last year, they made it out. Hey, it's too big for just one night. Same went, though, this year. We'll see if that holds up in the future or not. But they're back in business with live fans. Now back to the Thunderdome. We'll see when live fans return, hearing mid-July, August sometime. Batista with his new movie that is on the way, hyping up WrestleMania Backlash. As there is the head of the table, Roman Reigns, who is doing his best work ever since last August. So it'll be Reigns and Cesaro, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair. As she returned, was then suspended and fined. A week later, she returned again. So another triple threat championship match on Monday Night Raw. As mentioned, WWE title will be up for grabs. It'll be Lashley, McIntyre, and Strowman, Bianca Belair, and Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title too. So tonight, the stakes have risen. Time to eliminate those who stand in your way. So all the champions are gonna, and the challengers, gamble with fate. Bet on your strength. Bet on yourself as well. Tell me something. Give me what I want, says Batista. The Animal, now a Hollywood superstar. Now, from Army of the Dead, that's the new movie. Coming soon. It'll be WrestleMania Backlash. We have some opening pyro. Got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. WrestleMania Backlash underway. 2 triple threat championship matches from Monday Night Raw, 2 single championship matches from Friday Night SmackDown. WWE Thunderdome audience in full effect. Adnan Virk, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton on the call for Raw. Michael Cole, Pat McAfee on the call for SmackDown. We also have a Lumberjack match, as mentioned, with Damian Priest and The Miz. Look for John Morrison to, one way or another, or The Miz, turn on each other and then continue that singles feud all summer long. Knock on wood, hopefully. I've been calling it for about a year now, so about damn time. So, right out of the gate, just like Medina Spirit, a couple weeks ago at the Kentucky Derby, not able to win the Preakness yesterday. We'll have a triple threat Raw Women's Championship match to kick off the night. WrestleMania Backlash. They go with the WrestleMania logo, the red and black color scheme, and then the Backlash below it. Now a video package highlighting the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania last month, actually, with Rhea Ripley and Asuka, in which Rhea became champion, 1, 2, 3. She's held the title ever since, just as everyone else that won a championship that weekend still is champion as well. So there's been a whole lot going on, but really, as things change, things always stay the same. So Raw, up until as of like the past week or so after Mania the past month, in my opinion, was absolute trash. Felt like I was watching a replay for like 3 or 4 straight weeks. But hey, life goes on one way or another, so they're going to keep putting out the product they're putting out one way or another for, of course, Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, and they wonder why people don't watch. But it is what it is. They're going to do what they want one way or another. So thing is, you know, we're still sitting here watching, as we always do anyway, so we can complain all we want, yet we're still sitting here watching what they're shoving down our throat. So yeah, there's Charlotte attacking the official after the matchup on Raw last month, and then suspended, fined. A week later, returned via Sonya Deville, who's of course in upper management now on TV for the WWE with postman Adam Pearce. But we saw this on Kickoff pre-show, so they really hyped up the 4 main championship matches tonight. Nothing against the tag team championship match or the Lumberjack match, but they during Kickoff pre-show, before I came on the air here, previewed the Universal title first, then this, then the other women's championship match with Bianca Belair and Bayley. As I mentioned, keep an eye out for Sasha Banks one way or another. And then after the Sheamus Ricochet match ended, they previewed the WWE Championship triple threat match as well. So yeah, as mentioned, on paper, not that bad of a card for WrestleMania Backlash this evening. You know, we could see a surprise or two with an attack, you know, during the match to screw somebody over, or even post-match to keep the storyline going. Maybe even a few returns. Only time's going to tell. We'll see, you know, as the night progresses. But like I said, on paper, actually a pretty damn good card. Typical WWE show for a pay-per-view. But, I mean, they're just coming off WrestleMania, of course, the biggest show of the year, on the road to their next biggest show of the year, with a few pay-per-views in between, of course, with Backlash, Money in the Bank, and then Extreme Rules, or if they flip-flop those two, and then SummerSlam. Even though, in my opinion, Money in the Bank deserves to be a top 5 pay-per-view in the WWE, however they don't consider it that, because you win Money in the Bank, it's basically a championship until you cash in. You know, it's a championship opportunity waiting in your hands. And they finally got it right. I'm going to digress on it, but they finally got it right this past year. After they had Otis win it this time, as Backlash was in June, Money in the Bank was in May. So they flip-flopped this year with this as well. But then they, of course, remember, go back to Hell in a Cell in October. Miz defeated Otis, and then Miz cashed in before Lashley beat him. And then Lashley's held the title ever since. So, yeah, like I said, as much as gone on, everything's, for the most part, stayed the same. But triple threat women's championship match for the Raw women's title kick off the show here. Hashtag WM Backlash once more for WrestleMania Backlash. So tonight, well, 2 more pay-per-views, and then SummerSlam. You might see me on for more Raws, NXTs, and SmackDowns in the meantime too. We'll see. But just be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Charlotte in the ring. So she comes out first. Asuka will come out next, and then champion Rhea Ripley, and then we'll get underway for WrestleMania Backlash this evening. So once more, thank you for tuning in and watching. Yeah, is this supposed to be 101 Dalmatians or what? Charlotte has Cruella de Vil uh, outfit on. She looks like a goddamn Dalmatian. So, Charlotte, here comes Asuka, and then Rhea, and then we'll get the matchup underway once more. So, um, it fits her character, though. You know, pretty smart idea, honestly. Pretty funny too, to be honest with you. So, um, don't really know what else to say right now, but we're live. So, Asuka now in the ring, takes her little mask off. She gets pyro. I don't believe Charlotte did, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. But, Charlotte Flair, Cruella de Vil. I mean, she's supposed to be a heel. She's supposed to be hated. If only she came out with a literal alive Dalmatian by her side, adding to her character. That would have, done it. That would have been good. But there's more time to build potentially towards that. I'm not saying go full blown, put her out and make her to be that person, because she's herself. But we see this all the time with wardrobes. They're honoring somebody. They want to try to fit in and look like this person, whatever the case may be. But like I said, and she's given Rhea the stare. So I want to be shocked if Charlotte wins this. Rhea, I think, is going to retain. And then, everybody's been calling for Becky Lynch to return. She's been gone for about a year now. So, yeah. We'll have the introduction now. Cruella de Vil. Looks like she has a AAA logo on her outfit as well. Rhea just staring her down like, what the hell? Like, you look so goddamn stupid. Like, did you look at yourself in the mirror before you came out? Like, Charlotte gets introduced, Asuka now the Raw Women's Champion, and Rhea Ripley. So, honestly, don't know what to say about Charlotte. So I'll keep my mouth shut. But just was not expecting her to come out dressed like that, not whatsoever. So, don't be shocked if Charlotte wins this, regardless of what she's wearing. But even more so now, with they're gonna, from what it looks like, continuing to push her as the top heel in the women's division on Monday Night Raw. So, bell rings, match underway. Hashtag WM Backlash once more. And thank you for tuning in and watching. It's Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's title in a triple threat match. So, they're all trying to lock up. Charlotte going to roll out of the ring and let Rhea and Asuka do their thing, and then, she'll come in and actually, Asuka's going to exit the ring as well. Rhea's going to exit the ring as well. Now they're going to chase Charlotte down. She rolls back into the ring now. Charlotte with a big clothesline. Asuka from behind. Elbow. A quick roll up from Rhea. 1, 2. And then Asuka with a kick to the back of Rhea. So now we're underway. Now some pushing and shoving. Double super kick to Charlotte. She rolls out of the ring in front of the announce table. And now Rhea and Asuka going at it. So, quick roll up, 1, kick out. expect, 12, 15-minute match, nothing shorter, nothing longer. Be shocked if this goes 20, 25 minutes, but it is the opening matchup, so um, obviously they want to make a strong statement to begin the show tonight, and what better way to have Rhea, Asuka, and Charlotte do it, especially when if it would be put towards the middle of the show, as I would assume Bianca and Bayley will be. One, you're not going to want women's matches back to back for one, but then two, with what I'm getting at here is, even though the pay-per-views as of late, 2.5, 3 hours, they always cut time from these women's matches. Because one, either regardless if it's the video package, all the entrances, blah, 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 all that, something's going to run long. So, Rhea and Charlotte going at it now, as Asuka's ringside. But, yeah, so this is going to kick off the show. I would assume next we'll have either the SmackDown Tag Team Championship matchup or the Lumberjack match with Damian Priest and The Miz. And then after that, whichever isn't next will be third. And then it's going to be championship match from there on out to the end of the show. So, like I said, on paper, actually, pretty damn good card. They did build it pretty good to a point. I mean, as always, anything and everything could be 10 times better, but this is what they give us. So, we're still watching one or another too, so it is what it is. But we've got WrestleMania Backlash tonight, TakeOver in a few weeks, about a month, less than a month from now, as mentioned earlier, and then a few more pay-per-views before SummerSlam with Money in the Bank, Extreme Rules. Depending on the order, we'll see. I'm sure we'll get an announcement tonight, but then in 2 weeks' time, and then a week from Friday, I'll have live reactions, play-by-play of AEW Dynamite and WWE Friday Night SmackDown, as they'll be on. SmackDown will from 8 to 10, and then Dynamite and All Elite Wrestling from 10 to midnight a week from Friday. Memorial Day weekend, that Friday night, live reactions, play-by-play live right here on YouTube, a live watch-along stream right here on the channel, so be sure to tune back in, because 2 weeks from now, day before Memorial Day, May the 30th, AEW Double or Nothing. And talk about building. They've built post Blood and Guts just recently. Be sure to go check out that reaction video right here on the channel as well. I've thought at least a little bit better from Revolution to Blood and Guts to Double or Nothing than what WWE has in the past month, just from WrestleMania to Backlash tonight, because as mentioned, at least for Raw, SmackDown arguably the best WWE product right now. NXT is not bad either, but AEW, in my opinion, a little bit better than NXT. But we got a TakeOver coming up. We got a few pay-per-views for everyone coming up. I mean, hell, Impact had a pay-per-view last night, so AEW has, at least, as Charlotte and Asuka are going at it. I thought they've done a little bit better job building, continuing storylines, inserting pieces when needed, but Raw, as mentioned, at least for 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row after WrestleMania up until just last week or week before, I honestly thought I was watching, because it was the same same goddamn shit week in and week out. I thought I was watching a replay of Monday Night Raw for about a month. And NXT's building towards who they have now, continuing, all that, but then, SmackDown's where it's at, because, I mean, you can say 3 hours compared to the 2, but they're still on for, 7 hours a week, plus when they have pay-per-views for another 2.5, 3, 4 hours as well, so they're going to do so much, and especially in times like this, past year, since Thunderdome at least, since SummerSlam last year as well, they're doing what they're doing. They're going to do so much. They know we're still going to watch, so I'll shut up, because, as I said it before, I'll say it again. They're going to do what they want one way or another, because their business. They care less what we think, what our input is, because, hey, we're still sitting here watching what they're giving us. So we can bitch and complain all we want, but here we are. So, Triple Threat Raw Women's Championship match continues. Rhea defending against Asuka and Charlotte, as Charlotte is decked out in some 101 Dalmatians gear here this evening, with the Queen written on her left hip, and a few chops to the chest of Asuka from the Queen herself. Now a few clotheslines from Rhea to the Queen herself and Charlotte Flair. Big kick as well. Drop kick to Asuka in the corner. So Adnan's honestly not that bad on commentary. I feel like he got more shit than he deserved. But if, it doesn't get any better, then okay, maybe a change needs made. But you know, he's got Graves and Saxton by his side, and they can fight each other for the whole entire show, and it's still going to end up a win. So near pinfall, Asuka with a kick, Rhea with a reversal as well. So actually not that bad of a match here. As mentioned on paper, for all these matches, it's not that bad. I would have liked, you know, the Raw Tag Team Championship matches, or those titles, to also be defended tonight in a matchup with AJ Styles and Almost against what looks, at some point in time down the line, the new champions, and RK Bro with Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. Hopefully, you know, we could have had a triple threat or fatal four-way in that regard tonight as well. I mean, you can only put so much on a card, though, whenever you're doing 2.5, 3 hour shows, not your typical, with fans, 3.5, 4, maybe 5 hour show. So a few suplexes here from Asuka, and then also the Intercontinental, you know, Championship as well. But we're getting that on SmackDown, so maybe tomorrow night on Raw we get the Raw Tag Team titles defended. I'm sure we're going to get a few rematches tomorrow night as well from tonight, regardless of how things go. We'll see, but and it's really all just going to depend on when the next pay-per-view is too. June, it would be 20th, a week after In Your House, which is on the 13th. And like I said, whether or not it's Money in the Bank or Sure Mills, we'll see. 1-2 kick out by Charlotte on a pin by Asuka, but then the summer is just like, in my opinion at least, the month of January for the WWE, unless there's something really good going on. It's a dead period. You know, it's just dead. But they've been in business for how long, so they know what the hell they're doing. Drop kick off the top rope. Asuka sends Rhea now ringside. Asuka working Charlotte once more. Asuka with a knee on the ring apron to Rhea Ripley, and then Charlotte going to go for a suicide dive or a flip of some sorts, it looks like, over the top rope, as she has Rhea and Asuka ringside. Actually, she's going to get on the ring apron. Oh, she's going to do a moonsault off the top rope. She's going to go to the corner. Here comes Cruella de Vil, Charlotte Flair, off the top rope with a moonsault, taking out both Rhea Ripley and Asuka. Yelling, "This is mine." So Charlotte in full control right now as we see a replay. Charlotte going to roll Asuka back into the ring. And Rhea from behind now. So Rhea back into the ring, into the corner, going up top. Gonna vertical suplex Charlotte, looks like. Just waiting on Asuka to get up to powerbomb to superplex it. And here she comes. superplex with Rhea, Asuka, and Charlotte. Ref checking in on all three to make sure they're all right. They zoom out, get us a nice aerial shot of the WWE Thunderdome for WrestleMania Backlash this evening with the virtual Thunderdome crowd in full effect. A couple replay shots of that. Now Asuka and Rhea, as they get up first, going at it with one another. Charlotte now on her knees as well. Now they're all going at each other. Rights and lefts back and forth. They're in the middle of the ring on their knees in a triangle, punching each other. So just imagine that. Now they're all up on their feet in a triangle, punching each other. Headbutt. Headbutt from Rhea. Clothesline misses. Kick from Charlotte misses. And then, okay, Rhea and Asuka going to work with each other once more, taking out Charlotte. I feel the finish coming on for some reason. Double chop block to the back of the knees from Charlotte to both Rhea and Asuka. And then a double DDT. A double pin, just like Roman. Cover 1, 2, and a kick out by both of them as well as Charlotte looks at the ref. So a double pin, not on top of each other. They were laying next to each other, actually. Yeah, double chop block, and then a double, more of a running bulldog than DDT, but and then a double pin, cover 1, 2 to kick out. So match can continue. Charlotte now putting Rhea and Asuka in position for a moonsault off the top rope in the ring this time. They both move out of the way. Code breaker from Asuka. Rhea from behind as Charlotte rolls out of the ring, so it doesn't look like she'll be involved with the finish. Rhea going to go for a riptide on Asuka. Asuka going to reverse. And now, as Rhea gets out of that, actually going to pick Asuka up. And then Charlotte comes in, big running kick, and then Asuka from behind going to try to submit Charlotte. But then Charlotte rolls that through, going to put her in a sharpshooter now. Figure 4 into the figure 8. But no. Here comes Asuka and Rhea, excuse me. And then Asuka with a kick. Charlotte misses with a kick. She's now on the ring apron, so Asuka going to go for a rear view. Charlotte with a kick, Jesus Christ. How much more are you going to have go on here in this sequence? Riptide cover, 1, 2, and Rhea Ripley cover 1, 2, 3. Retains her Raw Women's Championship tonight. Defeats Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte was not involved in the finish. So it seemed to me they were doing way too much to try to go home there. Charlotte wasn't involved with the finish. She could have been saved a little bit better when she was thrown ringside on the hard camera side rather than right in front of the entrance ramp, because she was just on the ring apron and then she just like disappeared. So, like, they didn't even do anything to her, and she's just not getting back in to break up the pin. And Rhea 1, 2, 3 pins Asuka and retains. So Asuka takes the fall. They save Charlotte, but going back to what I said, it seems to be seems to me as the direction they're moving towards. It seems to be then at that point, Charlotte going to be the top heel on Raw. Rhea's of course a face it'll be Rhea and Charlotte for the Raw Women's title. And then, you know, okay, you go back to Asuka when she was a tag team champion, as we have new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions as well, as Natalya and Tamina just defeated Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Maybe Shayna gets pushed to the top. I'm sure they're going to feud here, as they just lost the titles on SmackDown the other night. But, you know, Asuka was with Kairi Sane for how long? Of course, she's no longer in the company. But Io Shirai hasn't been seen on NXT in quite some time, so maybe Io's going to come up, and they'll have Asuka and Io challenge Natalya and Tamina for those WWE Women's Tag Team titles. So, good opening championship match. Triple Threat Raw Women's title was on the line, and Rhea won and retained, pinned Asuka. Charlotte was not involved in the finish. She was on to it again. Thank you for watching. But, yeah, good matchup. Very good match on paper and with how it went. What I said, no longer than 15 minutes. Where are we at on the time? Yeah, probably about 15 minutes, maybe a little bit north of that, but it was nothing major. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short either, which was a good thing. So, Rhea with the win, still champion, but it'll be Rhea and Charlotte, looks like, moving forward for the Raw Women's title. Still to come, we have on the SmackDown side of things, SmackDown Women's Championship. We defended as well with Bianca Belair and Bayley. We got a quick commercial break right now with the WWE Network on Peacock. We'll see what match is next. As mentioned, we do have a Lumberjack match. We have a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match as well, along with the main event championships to be defended tonight as well, with a triple threat WWE Championship match with Lashley, McIntyre, and Strowman, and then Reigns will defend against Cesaro in the Universal Championship match. So, still a lot yet to come, of course, as the night just started with a pre-show in which Sheamus defeated Ricochet, but then on the main card, the opening contest is now in the books with Rhea Ripley still your Raw Women's Champion, defeating Asuka, pinning her, and Charlotte Flair as well. Now, earlier today, we have Bobby Lashley and MVP exiting a elevator, walking backstage. Now, this is from on Monday Night Raw recently. Actually, the past few weeks, Lashley faced Strowman, Lashley faced McIntyre, but then, and those were two single non-title matches in the past two main events of Monday Night Raw. But then, just 6 nights ago, last week on Raw, with Backlash this Sunday, now tonight, of course, after that match got underway and officially over with, then at that point, Strowman came out, attacked both Lashley and McIntyre, stood tall, so doesn't look like Strowman's going to be winning the WWE title tonight. If anything, Lashley's going to retain. I think he will. Is this match up next? They're going to have this be the second match of the night. If anything, Lashley's going to retain, or McIntyre is going to get the title back. And if Lashley retains, Brock Lesnar maybe. Actually, that match will not be next. We go backstage to The Miz and John Morrison. And there's, as mentioned earlier, a few other challengers potentially for, the WWE title and the Universal Championship as well. But then McIntyre, if he does in fact lose tonight, he needs to be done in the WWE Championship picture for the time being, at least. Sheamus needs somebody for the U.S. title, as mentioned, so I think that would be a good feud for the United States Championship, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, as they sort of started that feud before WrestleMania, but they couldn't finish it, or they just didn't. They're holding off saving, potentially until now, or at some point down the line, so Miz and Morrison backstage talking to each other. We got a Lumberjack match with The Miz and Damian Priest, and the writing's on the wall that Miz and Morrison, they're going to split. Now, who turns on who, we don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Miz would probably be a better heel, but Morrison turning on The Miz, I think, would be a little bit more shocking. Now we head to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee on commentary. And we'll have the SmackDown Tag Team Championships on the line next, with Rude and Ziggler defending against Mysterio. So, but what will probably happen? Miz will probably turn, and then Miz will be the heel. Morrison will be the face. They'll push him. Hopefully, he'll go over when it's all said and done, and then, maybe he's in line for a championship opportunity, whether it's United States or WWE title at that point in time or not. We'll see. At that point, too, come the fall, we're gonna have another draft or shakeup. Even though sort of we've been having shakeups as of late, it's just, not publicly known, not them, hey, saying this person was drafted, or this person was brought over from wherever in a shakeup. They're just doing it without telling you. Now we have this recap from earlier tonight on Kickoff Pre-Show, as mentioned, with Dominic Mysterio being attacked by their Dirty Dogs and Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. So far tonight, in my eyes at least, of course, the big dog by my side, WWE WrestleMania Backlash, as we got Dom getting checked out by the doctor and right now talking with him. We'll see what happens in this matchup, but if Dominic's going to be good to go or not, or if Ray's going to have another tag team partner now moving forward or not, we'll see. But it will be next. It'll be Rude and Ziggler, the Dirty Dogs, taking on the Mysterios for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. WrestleMania Backlash has a lot to do with dogs. And cue the barking in the background as well. So, hearing noise in the background, just some dogs barking. Don't get worried. But we got Charlotte Flair as Cruella de Vil, 101 Dalmatians. We got the Dirty Dogs now next, defending their SmackDown Tag Team titles against Mysterios. And then still to come, whether it be the co-main event or the main event of the evening, we'll see. We got the big dog in Roman Reigns, the head of the table, tribal chief that he is, that we should all acknowledge, as mentioned, defending his Universal title against Cesaro. I'm sure there's, a few other dog references that, we can get out of tonight as well with all the other matches. Or, everyone else that's up on the main roster, even NXT for that matter. But I'll digress there, as it'll be Robert, Bobby Roode, and the show-off Dolph Ziggler, the Dirty Dogs themselves, defending their blue SmackDown Tag Team titles against Rey and Dominic Mysterio. However, Dom, as mentioned, was attacked backstage about an hour and a half ago, I'd say now or so. So he should be good to go. He'll probably come out, if he doesn't come out right away, he'll come out mid towards the end of the match. Hopefully the Mysterios do in fact pick up the win and win these titles. They need to do something with the whole entire tag team division. It's as bad as the women's division is, but if not worse for that matter. But Booyaka 619, here comes the littlest big man in WWE, Rey Mysterio. And it looks to be just Rey for the time being. So Rey Mysterio getting introduced, and it'll be a 2-on-1 handicap match for the time being for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Unless somebody else is going to come out, or Dom, as mentioned, is going to come out later. But AJ Styles and Almost, hopefully eventually they'll drop the titles to RK Bro and Orton and Riddle. Have AJ go off and do bigger and better things as a singles competitor. And then with Roode and Ziggler, maybe split them up if they lose, put them on the Mysterios. But then you got the Usos back, somewhat full strength in the bloodline with Roman Reigns. And as I've said time and time again, you can go check out recent videos. With as good as Reigns is right now, and he's had his right-hand man by his side in Jey Uso, but now Jimmy's back. If only Jimmy was involved in Clash of Champions and Hell in a Cell last fall, but he's been on the shelf injured for most part of last year. Bell rings, match underway. Rey Mysterio talked about 101 Dalmatians. It looks like he's in either Batman or Wolverine gear. Need a closer look on it. Quick roll up, 1-2, kick out by Bobby Roode. But right now it's a championship match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. However, instead of a tag team match, it's a 2-on-1 handicap match because Dominic Mysterio was attacked earlier and is injured. He'll enter the fold at some point in time, I would think. But yeah, Rey's in some light bluish, yellow, gray attire tonight. Takes out Dolph Ziggler ringside right in front of Cole and McAfee. And to me, it looks more to be Wolverine than Batman. But the pop culture world playing key once again tonight for the WWE with WrestleMania Backlash here this evening. So Roode rolling in and out of the ring. They're going to fight ringside now. But we'll see what happens here. But Mysterio going to slam Roode into the steel post. He's going to roll back in the ring. And now on the ring apron, taking out Bobby Roode. Ringside now going to get back in the ring, calling for Ziggler to come in and fight. I think the Dirty Dogs are going to regroup, though, ringside before they, even though this match is officially underway, before they get back in and this match officially gets underway, even though it's already official. Just a lot of horseplay ringside so far. But maybe the Usos at some point down the line win the SmackDown Tag Team titles because, as I said, and I'll say it again, it's only going to make Roman Reigns look even bigger and stronger than what he already is. And this is the best Reigns we've ever had. It's just going to make him 10 times better. Quick roll up, 1-2, kick out by Roode. Big clothesline on a reversal. As Rey Mysterio is legal, he's by himself right now. No Dominic, as he was once again attacked backstage earlier. And then a tag made, Ziggler legal now. Cover, 1-2, kick out by Rey. So Rey and Roode, now Ziggler in the match, so Rey and Dolph. And they have a lot of history as singles competitors for championships. But looking ahead, yeah, it'd be nice, no doubt, for the Mysterios to win and become the first father-son duo to win tag team titles in WWE. And that's all time in history. So history would once again be made tonight in the Thunderdome for tonight's pay-per-view. But as Ziggler is working the eyes underneath that mask of Rey Mysterio, one of the most well-respected as Roode tags in. So now it's Rey and Bobby Roode once more. One of the most well-respected, and I swear to God I'm bugged because I think Michael Cole just said something about respect. I don't know though. Go back and watch it. It doesn't matter. But Rey's a fan favorite. He, you think of Lucha Libre wrestling, not Nacho Libre and Jack Black, but anything luchador, anything Lucha Libre wrestling, AAA, Lucha Underground, I mean, the Guerrero family, Mysterio family now as well. But when you think of, or when somebody says Rey Mysterio, you know who exactly that person is, whether you're a wrestling fan or not. So, Rey doesn't have anybody tagged. Roode playing some mind games with them, but Rey still on his feet, fighting against the Dirty Dogs in this tag team championship match. But Mysterio should win tonight, hold the titles maybe for a little bit, but in the end, they're teasing, okay, of course, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, not seeing eye to eye. We got the right hand man and nobody's bitch as the tag team in the bloodline for Roman Reigns, who's head of the table, of course. So we should all acknowledge once more. Um, they'll get on track. They'll do what's best for business, so to speak. And as I've said, I'll say it again, if only they were, you know, full strength as a tag team and maybe even tag team champions, you know, then they're draped in gold. Because you look, just go back recently. Hurt Business was WWE champion with Bobby Lashley, MVP, of course, managing as Paul Heyman is. Uh, and then you had Cedric and Shelton as Raw Tag Champs just before they split, of course. And now Hurt Business is no more. And then Cedric and Shelton aren't even a tag team anymore. They're feuding with one another. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Something's got to give. We'll see what it does. But another tag made. Rude back in legal. But Reigns is not losing the Universal Championship anytime soon. So you might as well have the Usos win tag team gold. I mean, you go back, I mean, the Undisputed Era, just as of late, too, they were draped in gold for how long? So they like to put factions, of course, whether it's working out, we'll see what this Diamond Mine thing is with NXT. I think it's either going to be Tessa Blanchard or Roderick Strong. But once they put people together, faction, group, whatever you want to call it, because they like to do that a lot. They like to put titles on whoever those people are if they're going to push them. So, kick out by Ray, and they love Roman. So, and we already know that. So, at some point in time, because this involves the SmackDown Tag Team titles, this matchup continuing replay there with the Famouser and the zigzag from Dolph as he's legal against Ray. Dominic, you would think at some point in time is going to be coming out here soon. Another tag made, Rude back in illegal, but by the end of the summer, we're going to see these SmackDown Tag Team titles, long story short, change hands a few times, I think, with by SummerSlam at the latest, if not sooner. Sooner the better, but they got to tell the story in the meantime too, so probably going to be better off hold off and wait. You have the Usos, along with Reigns, still Universal Champion at the end of the summer, post SummerSlam, as they'll be SmackDown Tag Champs. Go back to when they were running high as a tag team, as champions in the WWE, you know, years ago. Have them as tag champs and have Reigns still Universal Champion. Because, like I said, officially, as Ray going to break the count at 9.5. Technically, yes, Cesaro could win by DQ with Rollins interfering, which I'm not going to be shocked if that's what does in fact happen. We got a little bit of a buffer on the WWE Network on Peacock on my end, so hopefully this will work itself out. But Ray and Dominic Mysterio. Ray was by himself. It's a 2-on-1 handicap match. All I was saying there was I was connecting dots with, of course, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, in my opinion at least. By the end of the summer, I think they'll be changing hands a few times. They actually just changed hands tonight as well at WWE WrestleMania Backlash just minutes ago as we cut to the Raw announce team as Adnan with Corey Graves and Byron Saxton show off a Dave Bautista tweet wishing good luck to all the WWE superstars competing tonight. WrestleMania Backlash, sorry I couldn't make it, but some of my friends will. Army of the Dead. Okay, so awesome now. Here comes The Miz. It'll be The Miz taking on Damian Priest in a Lumberjack match, and Army of the Dead. That adds up. That with what we just saw, which I'm going to get to here in a second. Now listen, this ain't no make-believe. Here comes John Morrison as well. Really haven't seen Taya Valkyrie on NXT as of late for some reason after they were going to push her felt like. But this is a lumberjack match, but it's all adding up, making sense now. Morrison just saw a lot of zombies backstage. Feels like I said earlier, there's a lot of dogs tonight for some reason with Backlash, with Charlotte as Cruella de Vil, 101 Dalmatians. Ray was actually dressed a little bit like Batman, not Wolverine. Like I said, looked a little bit like both for some reason until I got a closer look there. But it was the Dirty Dogs taking on Rey and Dominic Mysterio, and then still the big dog to come later on tonight. Roman Reigns defending his Universal title against Cesaro. But yeah, sorry for any technical difficulties. Buffer, disconnect, reconnect, internet completely went out. So until got that issue resolved, of course, could not stream by any means. But now here comes Damian Priest. But like I said, really didn't miss a whole lot. Just conclusion to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, which was in length about the same as the opening contest. And like I said, either the Lumberjack match I thought or that SmackDown Tag Team title match would be second, and then whatever wasn't would be next third. Well, hence here we are. So got the first three matches of the night in that very order, to an extent correct. Don't want to pat myself on the back by any means, but hey, sort of told you so. But Ray was in a 2-on-1 handicap match because Dominic was attacked backstage during the pre-show by the Dirty Dogs. Didn't know if he'd come out or not. Of course, yes, he did. Towards the midway point, towards the end of the match there. And then Dominic ended up picking up the win with the splash off the top rope. 1, 2, 3 to Bobby Roode. So the Mysterios are your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And then after they cut a promo, it was more of an interview with Caleb Braxton in the ring post-match. We cut to a Army of the Dead commercial, Batista's new movie that's coming out soon. And then we had, yes, this was all in about 10 minutes. I guess we did miss, more than I thought we did, but it's all adding into this match coming up next. Has, alright, this is getting a little creepy. This has Walking Dead vibes to it, no doubt about it. This is a lumberjack match with zombies. But we were then backstage, just getting everybody caught up because of technical difficulties. Morrison opened up a closet door, and then all these zombies, hence lumberjacks, came walking out. And then before Miz and Morrison came out along Damian Priest, as the bell rings, match underway. This has cinematic feel to it as well for some reason, even though we're in the Thunderdome. They take the fans off the screen. They give us like some city-like graphics from the commercials I've seen for this upcoming movie. I've seen a lot of Vegas. So there's a zombie Elvis in the Thunderdome right next to the Miz. Is that a zombie MJF, if I'm not mistaken? That guy sure as hell, as hashtag WM Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash, is trending worldwide. We've got a few other zombie-like characters ringside as lumberjacks. Damian Priest going after him now ringside. But, and Miz with a kick now back in the middle of the ring. So this is a lumberjack match with zombies. But then Miz and Morrison were talking again. They had, or have had, 2 of those segments already backstage. So they're playing out with the time, buying themselves some time, dragging it out. But here in the end, Morrison just told Miz, hey, I saw all these creatures, all these zombie-like people. So obviously these are supposed to be from Army of the Dead, hence the Batista tweet that they showed once they went back ringside. But before that, we had the Usos talking backstage, back in their suite, wondering where Reigns was, and then Roman walked up. So Reigns still has to defend against Cesaro tonight in the Universal Championship match. But right now, as we're back live, and once more, sorry for any technical difficulties, internet completely went out on me. We got a Lumberjack match with zombies here tonight. WrestleMania Backlash inside the WWE Thunderdome with The Miz taking on Damian Priest. And these zombies are from the movie Army of the Dead. Hence, like I said, that tweet, it was all making sense. It was all starting to add up. So here we are. Adnan, Graves, and Saxton still on the call. They are actually getting spooked themselves, taking off their headset, and then we had a zombie appear from underneath the announce table. They're popping up everywhere. Behind the barricade, just out of nowhere. Like Orton delivers RKOs to people. Come down the ramp as Miz and Morrison were trying to get out of this. Then they were trapped into Priest coming out with the zombies, hence Lumberjacks ringside, as this is a Lumberjack match, but we're going to call it a zombie match because that's what it is. These Lumberjacks are in fact zombies. So cover, kick out at 2, but it spices this match up. It gives it a, darker feel to it. Non-typical Lumberjack match. I mean, at least they're doing something with it, I guess. And like I said, it has a cinematic feel to it too. But it gives you more of a reason to actually watch it from start to finish. And Miz with a submission locked in on Damian Priest now, punishing the former Punishment Martinez. Yes, these graphics in the Thunderdome, it's like all these blown up abandoned cities that you would have saw in Europe post World War II. As these zombies, I'm sure these guys are, whether they're actual stars from the movie or not, or if they're enhancement talent from NXT or not, I don't know. But now Priest and Miz fighting ringside, taking out all these Lumberjacks, taking out all these zombies before they'll fight each other. Miz with a left hand right to Elvis. Looks like a Mankind zombie as well. So Priest with a big right. Morrison, one way or another, is going to get involved in this finish, I think. Because, like I said earlier, The Miz and Morrison are going to be splitting. Who turns on who, we don't know. We'll see. But here we are, back after some TDs. Miz went to high five Priest, and he's not having any of it. Slams him down. Cover. 1, 2, kick out. So we'll reset once this match officially gets over with, but thank you for tuning in and watching. Now here comes Morrison down the ramp. I didn't even know he left. So Morrison getting involved in the finish here, trying to help the Miz out. Kicks Priest, and then Miz with a running knee. Cover, 1, 2, and okay, kick out. I don't know if Morrison meant to not bump into the ref or not. He's taking out zombies now ringside. And I mean, I honestly wonder who the hell thought of this idea. I get the cross promotion to insert this here and all that. Now here comes more zombies from the depth, taking out John Morrison behind the barricade. And then from behind, Priest to the Miz, and now we've got another buffer. Come on. Really? There's no reason for this. None. In the meantime, we're going to see if we can get it pulled up elsewhere, as that's how I was able to watch with data, of course, on my phone, with what happened in the meantime when we were disconnected. And that's how I, of course, was able to get everybody caught up once we, were back to live streaming. So, all right, now we're back. Cover 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest picks up the win over The Miz. So pretty predictable there, honestly. We might be a little bit behind now, but as Priest jumps up on the top rope, all these zombies, all these lumberjack zombies, cue Jackal, that they're gonna cover up The Miz in the middle of the ring. As Priest celebrates, does his bow and arrow, and then they promote Army of the Dead some more. So maybe Miz is going to be in for a little bit of a character change. Maybe put or keep and put Miz and Morrison as a #1 contender. Actually, the lights go out. And we fade to black, and we get a promo for, what is this, Hell in a Cell? We're going to have Hell in a Cell next month? They're really going to shake up the pay-per-view schedule, aren't they? Hell in a Cell is going to be next month? Sunday, June 20th. Hell in a Cell is in June now. Back to, okay, when it normally was. That's when Taker threw Mankind off the Hell in a Cell. Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh. That would have been middle of June, back in the late 1990s. So, all right. They're really going to go full-blown with and all out with this pay-per-view schedule moving forward, at least for the summer, with Backlash tonight, WrestleMania Backlash tonight, I should say, following WrestleMania, Hell in a Cell, then probably Money in the Bank, and then SummerSlam. So, Hell in a Cell's next month. I wasn't expecting Hell in a Cell next month. Then maybe we get Extreme Rules in July. Maybe they push Money in the Bank back to October. A lot unknown right now. We'll see. But, yeah, they cut it. They faded to black there. Now we got the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, warming up backstage. Miz does not turn on Morrison. Morrison does not turn on Miz tonight. Maybe tomorrow night on Raw. But maybe they're going to, because the zombies, then after the match was over, covered up Miz, took him out. Maybe a little bit of a rebrand. They're going to keep Miz and Morrison together, put them, as mentioned, as a #1 contender maybe for those Raw Tag Team titles. They go back to how they looked, 2007, 2008. I still think they turn on one another at some point in time. But now backstage, the Usos talking. We got the Nobody's Bitch, Jimmy Uso on the left, and the right-hand man, Jey Uso on the right of your screen. And now Michael Cole, Pat McAfee on the call. I'd say the SmackDown Women's Championship match is coming up next. So that, of course, gives us a real fresh reset. As following technical difficulties. Alright, McAfee going to plug the song, the official theme for Backlash. But, hey, it's technology. It's good, but then also sucks when it needs to be good. So, with all the issues I've had, I don't think I've ever had it completely go out on me, and that's what happened tonight. I mean, if I have had that happen, it's been a while. Normally it's just buffer disconnect, and then it'll reconnect, right away. Internet completely went out on me. About, I'd say, 10 minutes or so there, as mentioned. So we're back live, and we just witnessed the Lumberjack zombie matchup with Damian Priest defeating The Miz. And we'll, get a full recap at the end anyway. But coming up next, it'll be Bianca Belair and Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title, with a video package from Bianca Belair winning the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania 37 last month against Sasha Banks. And keep an eye out for Sasha Banks potentially get involved one way or another here tonight as well in the finish. But yeah, we're gonna backtrack here in a second to when we got cut off, and then from then until now, do a short little recap with what has already happened prior to that as well, and then at the end of the show, a full recap from WrestleMania Backlash. So stay tuned. We're going to get that here in a second, but once more, thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch-along reactions of WWE WrestleMania Backlash this evening. Now here comes WWE's role model in Bayley. The number one true role model is All Elite, the Dr. DMD herself, Britt Baker, who's finally getting a championship opportunity in 2 weeks' time. Bayley's got what looks to be ET on her top that she's wearing. Looks like ET, but it sure as hell ain't ET. And Bayley getting some pyro. Of course, she didn't have a match at WrestleMania last month. She ended up sort of just hanging out. She ended up, I guess you could say, hosting the event with Titus and the Hulkster himself. Because on night 2, with the Bellas, during the Hall of Fame segment of Mania, there was a beatdown there. Honestly, probably should have just had a triple threat. But, okay, they had Bianca defeat Sasha. Sasha's really been off since, and now you insert Bayley. So, at some point, maybe at Hell in a Cell now next month we get a triple threat with these three for the SmackDown Women's title with Bianca Belair, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. Because Hell in a Cell is next month, so that's big breaking news. Was not expecting Hell in a Cell to be next month. It'll be Sunday, June the 20th. So we got, of course, WrestleMania Backlash tonight. We got Takeover in Your House on June the 13th, and then a week from then, WWE Hell in a Cell. So, yeah, they're really shaking up the pay-per-view schedule. But we'll see what happens, of course, from now until then. But first things first, Bianca Belair and Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title. Alright, as both Bayley and Bianca will get introduced, we're going to hit the reset button with the technical difficulties that I experienced a little bit ago now. Thank you for tuning in and watching my WWE WrestleMania Backlash live reactions, play, live watch along reaction stream, if you will, live right here on the YouTube channel. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button with the notification bell next to it if you haven't done so already. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share hashtag WWE, hashtag WM Backlash for WrestleMania Backlash. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. So, coming up next is the second of two Women's Championship matches tonight at WrestleMania Backlash. We saw Rhea Ripley defeat and retain her Raw Women's title against Asuka and Charlotte Flair on the technical second match night. However, it was the first match on the main card. So the first match of the evening was the other Women's Championship match. The next one is coming up next. The other one, I should say, is coming up next. Bell rings, match underway. Bayley and Bianca Belair. Bianca blows her a kiss and tells her, "Come on, let's go." So to kick off the night, actually on the kickoff pre-show, Sheamus defeated Ricochet. We'll start there. First match on the main card was the first of these two Women's Championship matches. It was Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Charlotte Flair. Rhea retained, still your Raw Women's Champion. Right now, the second of those two Women's Championship matchups currently underway. As the bell just rang, as mentioned, it is Bianca Belair defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Bayley. Keep an eye out for Sasha Banks. Goes back to WrestleMania. It was Sasha defending against Bianca. Bianca beat her. Sasha really hasn't been seen since. Bayley now back into the fold. Singles matchup here. And then with Hell in a Cell next month, as mentioned, maybe Triple Threat with 3 then. Inside the cell for the SmackDown Women's title. Only time will tell. But right now, it is Bianca Belair and Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Also, earlier this evening, we had the SmackDown Tag Team Championships on the line. And that is when all hell broke loose, with the internet disconnecting and until we got it back up and running. So I didn't miss a whole lot, as mentioned, but it was about midway through that match. It was the Dirty Dogs, Bobby Roode, and Dolph Ziggler taking on Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, the Mysterio family. However, Dominic, as mentioned, was injured backstage during kickoff pre-show, attacked by Roode and Ziggler, did not come out until midway point towards the closing minutes of that match. Roode and Ziggler dropped the titles. Mysterios are your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So, Mysterios defeated Roode and Ziggler. We didn't have, or we don't even have, a Raw Tag Team Championship match, as mentioned earlier, with AJ Styles and Almost. No Intercontinental Championship match either. However, Fatal 4-Way this coming Friday night on SmackDown with Apollo Crews, Big E, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. No United States Championship match either, but they added that on the kickoff with another open challenge by Sheamus. So, as mentioned earlier, basically just those 3 titles not on the line tonight. So, still have Raw and SmackDown this week that would come as we're on the road to Hell in a Cell, about a month away. But in the meantime, when it cut out, as Bianca and Bayley are going at it right now for the SmackDown Women's title. We just saw, of course, the Lumberjack match with Damian Priest and The Miz. It was a zombie match. Zombie Lumberjacks. We had an Army of the Dead commercial. Hence, that's why they're zombies. Of course, the cross promotion there with Batista, as that is his upcoming movie. Next upcoming movie. So shout out to the animal. But Morrison walking backstage. Miz and Morrison talked earlier. We saw that. They've actually talked twice. And then Miz lost. As Morrison got drugged down behind the barricade by those zombies. He opened up like a closet door backstage. All these zombies started walking out. You know, like I said. Hence the Walking Dead theme tonight. At least for that match. Cinematic feel to it as well. All the dogs that are involved tonight as well. But kick out at 2 there by Bayley. The SmackDown Championship match going to continue. So yeah, Army of the Dead, like the main sponsor of WrestleMania Backlash tonight, it looks like. As they're really promoting that. So that's going to be on one of the streaming services, if I'm not mistaken. Checking on that. But Bianca now waving her fake ass hair around. This is real, that's not. But no, Bayley now with attack from behind. All these zombies then were roaming backstage. Alright, just roaming. Walking all around. None of their business to be there, but as mentioned, sort of started to add up, make more sense. Okay, this is going to be a lumberjack match, but with zombies. So a zombie match, which, as I wasn't expecting Hell in a Cell to be next month, I wasn't expecting that either. Meantime, too, we had the Usos backstage. Roman Reigns came up. They all talked. We actually just had the Usos backstage again talking with one another. With the right-hand man, Jey Uso, and nobody's bitch, Jimmy Uso. So, had that happen, had Miz and Morrison talk once more, and then the Lumberjack zombie match. That was actually pretty neat. Like I said, I wonder who had that idea to put it all together, and you know, that's what we ended up getting. So instead of a lumberjack match, it was a zombie match. Damian Priest still picked up the win as thought over The Miz. However, The Miz did not turn on John Morrison, and John Morrison did not turn on The Miz. So as they were both, Morrison was drugged to the depths of hell behind the barricade by the zombies, and Miz was covered up by the zombies. Maybe we're going to get a little bit of a rebrand with The Miz and Morrison as a tag team. Go back to 2007, 2008 as mentioned, when they were tag team champions. Boost the Raw tag team division as well in the meantime. Wouldn't mind that, but as I've said for quite some time now, almost a year, and you know it's coming, it's just a matter of when. The Miz turns on John Morrison, or John Morrison turns on The Miz, and then they feud with one another. Vertical suplex there by Bianca Bayley. The match can continue here once more. SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. But, maybe they go that route, and maybe they turn on one another tomorrow night. I don't know. Maybe we're not going to see them for a little while. Maybe they'll keep them off TV for the time being. Who knows? We'll have to watch Raw, NXT, and SmackDown this week, as we always do anyway. So Priest defeated Miz in a lumberjack zombie match, is what we'll officially end up calling it. But neither turned on one another post-match. They faded to black, went into telling us that, hey, Hell in a Cell is next pay-per-view next month, which, as mentioned, I was not expecting that either. So, Hell in a Cell, June the 20th, a month from this upcoming week. But in the meantime, we'll have TakeOver in your house the week prior on June the 13th. So, live reactions, play-by-play, live watch-along reactions of AEW Dynamite and Friday Night SmackDown a week from Friday, May the 28th, live right here on the channel, along with Of course, a Double or Nothing preview at the end of that with that pay-per-view the following Sunday, actually 2 weeks from tonight. And then on June 13th, WWE NXT TakeOver in your house. And then a week from then, WWE Hell in a Cell on June the 20th. Keep an eye out for a few football videos in the meantime as well. Just be sure to hit that red subscribe button, the little notification bell next to it as well if you haven't done so already. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. And once more, thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch-along reactions of WWE WrestleMania Backlash right here on YouTube. So, for the most part, I believe we're caught up now. If I feel I need to add anything else in, I will, as I always do anyway. So, yeah, Lumberjack match and the Hell in a Cell promo with this SmackDown Women's Championship match continuing on with Bianca Belair and Bayley. As we still have the WWE Championship and the WWE Universal Championship to defend tonight as well, as those will be the next and final two matches of the evening. So we're looking at probably a 2.5, 3 hour pay-per-view. Probably about another hour and a half so here on the WWE Network on Peacock, live right here on YouTube as well. So once more, thank you for tuning in and watching. But yeah, a little disappointed, of course. Miz or Morrison didn't turn on one another, but they're going to continue to drag it out, it seems like, and you know, we'll see what road they take us on. So I'll leave it at that. Just, of course, wanted to get caught up there, but yeah, Bianca Belair and Bayley, but keep an eye out for Sasha Banks, as mentioned, with the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. Bianca with a miss, and then a nice chop to the, more of a slap to the face of anything. And Bianca now just kicking and slapping Bayley all to hell. Corner to corner, slams her down, 2 in a row, drop kick, and then a block in the back from Bayley to Bianca. Nice spine buster. Quick cover, 1, 2. Bayley kicks out at 2.5. And going back to that SmackDown Tag Team title matchup with the Dirty Dogs and the Mysterios, I'm sure we saw a spine buster by Bobby Roode. If we did, I unfortunately, of course, missed it because that's when it went out on my end with the connection here tonight. A severe internet issue. So, major technical difficulties, as I like to say, but sorry once more for technical difficulties. There's no reason for it, none I know whatsoever, but it's technology. It is what it is. It's good, but it also sucks when you need to be good. And tonight, at that point in time, it was really, really bad. So I hate it as much as anybody else does, but of course, just want to apologize once more. And hopefully it doesn't happen ever again, even though I've said that time and time again. And hence, here we are again. It's doing it, you know. So there's not really much I can do. It's good for the most part. It is. But when I wonder however many occasions it, you know, does in fact take place, it is very, very bad. And tonight was one of those. So, working ringside, Bianca face first in the steel post, but you know, here in the long run, in the end, we're back live. So as long as we can get back to it, continue watching, recap it in the meantime as I just did anyway. You know, I don't mind it. It's just when it does it all the time, yeah, it does get a little annoying on your nerves. But tonight, when it just did it, was as bad as it's been in quite a while. Weather, not really an issue in my area right now, so I don't know what the hell is up. Because if one thing's working, why isn't the other? But tonight was, because that's how it normally is. One thing just completely goes out on me when everything else is up and running, as I've stated before. But tonight, everything completely went out. So, and until we got it up and running again, hence, we missed a little bit of the show. But actually, really didn't miss a whole lot anyway. Did catch the finish on my end at least before I started back up, and then recapped with what happened backstage in between the next matches and all that. So I'll digress. I'll shut up. I know you don't want to hear it as much as I want to talk about it in that regard. But another near pinfall, quick roll up. 1, 2, Bayley holding on to the ropes. Refs catches her. Sees her hold on to that middle rope. And Bayley's getting a warning. And then she hits Bianca with a right hand. And then Bianca with a right hand. And no offense to that, like I said earlier, SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. At least they did it during either that match or one of the two women's matches tonight. Because really, the two matches that are selling this pay-per-view, and then post-event with, I would think people are going to be talking about that zombie matchup with The Miz and Priest. It's those two WWE and Universal Championship matchups with Lashley, McIntyre, and Strowman, along with Reigns and Cesaro. And now Hell in a Cell, so we'll see what we're going to get a month from, a few days from now, on June the 20th. So Bayley to belly, cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. Shit, I thought Bayley was going to win. But, like I said, yeah, they're really changing up the pay-per-view schedule, it seems like, for the time being. So when's Money in the Bank going to be now? Going to be in July? Going to be taking Hell in a Cell's place in October? Or they can have Extreme Rules in October? Have Money in the Bank be in July? Potentially as the first show back with live fans. On a strict, normal touring schedule. Full-blown house shows and all. 1, 2, 3. That's a messed up finish. Ref calls for the bell. She used her hair to keep her down. I don't think the ref saw it. And he was all over the place with his count. You're going to definitely have to see a replay on this. Watch for Sasha to attack here. Or wait until SmackDown this week. Because they got to build towards Hell in a Cell now. Bayley going over, ripping Michael Cole a new asshole. She wrapped it around my leg. Write it in your notes. Bayley writing Michael Cole some notes now. Hey, say this, say that. We know you stare at the paper when you're on TV anyway. But you can't get away with this. Bayley has a good, valid argument that Bianca used her hair, wrapped it around Bayley, and was able to use that in her advantage to pick up the win and retain her championship, and they fade to black. So now a WWE Network exclusive on Peacock promo, in the ring, over the top, tag teams, tap outs, action, reactions. Every live pay-per-view WWE Network on Peacock. The second ever WWE pay-per-view on Peacock following WrestleMania last month. Of course, now WrestleMania Backlash tonight. Now a WWE icon of RVD, Rob Van Dam, an ECW great. We actually just lost another on Friday with New Jack, so rest in peace to New Jack. But a WWE icons of Rob Van Dam now on the network. I guess he gifted Vince McMahon some rolling papers saying thank you for inducting me into the WWE Hall of Fame. But now we go backstage to Kevin Dan Patrick, and we got MVP going to get interviewed outside of Bobby Lashley's dressing room. So we'll have a triple threat championship match still to come, along with a singles championship match still to come as well, with Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman for the WWE title. And then also Roman Reigns and Cesaro for the Universal Championship. So WrestleMania Backlash actually, as mentioned earlier, on paper, pretty damn good card. Has potential to, succeed, come out on top as a good show. I think it has so far, and it's only going to get better because we still got 2 co-main event championship matches anyway. So, we'll see what happens here. But WrestleMania Backlash, in the end, when it's all said and done, looking to be a damn good pay-per-view. No title changes as of yet in the singles division. We've had a championship change hands on the tag team division, with Mysterios becoming tag team champs. So that'll probably be it, I bet. Unless Lashley's going to drop the title. Because Roman Reigns sure as hell ain't losing. Drew McIntyre now backstage. Coming up next, it'll be the triple threat WWE Championship match with Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman. Reigns and Cesaro getting the main event spotlight once again. So now we're going to get a video package for Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman, with everything that's happened since Lashley became champ back a little over 2 months ago now, defeating The Miz after The Miz cashed in an Elimination Chamber on Drew McIntyre. And then, of course, Miz faced Bad Bunny at WrestleMania, as it was Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. Hence the zombie match we saw earlier with Miz and Priest. And Bad Bunny's sold-out tour, but Strowman at WrestleMania. What'd he do at Mania? Now that I bring it up, I can't even remember. He did something at WrestleMania, didn't he? Fill me in. Drawing a blank. I'm actually going to have to look this up now. Oh, that's right. He won the stupidest match of all time against Shane McMahon. Of course, mentioned then, yeah, he's going to go over. They're going to push him, it seems like, and they are. He's in a triple threat championship match again here tonight on a WWE pay-per-view. So, it was Lashley McIntyre at Mania for the title. Lashley retained, unfortunately. Still champion. Should never broke up the Hurt Business, but they did. It seems to me Lashley, if he doesn't lose tonight or sometime soon, like his title reign's already stale as it is, it's going to get even staler. That's even a word. Hence maybe Brock Lesnar, or if they want to continue to push Strowman or McIntyre, okay, go right ahead. But like I said, with Drew at least, he loses again tonight. Take him out of the WWE Championship picture for the time being. Put him up against Sheamus, maybe, for the U.S. title. Um, you know, we haven't seen the Fiend Bray Wyatt in quite some time. Keith Lee's been off of TV for I don't know how long now. So maybe Bray up against Lashley. Keith Lee, Bobby Lashley, I think would sell. I think what would be best, though, you bring Brock back first, if Lesnar's even going to come back. And he will, it's just a matter of when. But you have, and maybe like they did a few years ago, what was that? Lesnar came back in Money in the Bank and cost Ali. Tipped the ladder. Maybe next month at Hell in a Cell, because it's a Hell in a Cell. And have Lesnar come back then, spice up the return to live touring, in July. Here comes the Scottish psychopath turned Scottish warrior now, Drew McIntyre. As he'll come out first, then Braun Strowman, then the almighty Bobby Lashley. So it'll be the Scottish warrior, the monster among men, and the almighty one. And a triple threat WWE Championship match coming up next in the co-main event of hashtag WM Backlash for WrestleMania Backlash this evening. And then Roman Reigns will defend his Universal Championship against Cesaro in the main event still to come. But with potentially what could happen here, or down the line, bring Brock back first, have Brock beat Bobby Lashley, and then have Keith Lee come out to Lesnar. And then have Lesnar put over Keith Lee if they're going to continue to push him. Because like I said, he hasn't been on TV in God knows how long. Honestly, probably since, Royal Rumble, right after, or even right before that pay-per-view, right after that as well. So McIntyre would have been WWE Champion at that point in time until he'd lost via cash-in from The Miz at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view there 3 months ago now. And then 2 weeks later, Lashley defeated The Miz in a Lumberjack match, of all matches. Then we have the Lumberjack Zombie match tonight with The Miz and Damian Priest. So full circle for a few things here. But, Strowman defeated Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. Lashley defeated McIntyre at WrestleMania for the WWE title. And now we've got triple threat tonight. And the past few weeks on Raw, as mentioned, Lashley faced off against McIntyre. Lashley faced off against Strowman as well. Actually faced off against Strowman first 2 weeks ago. Faced off against McIntyre last Monday night on Raw. And then Strowman stood tall. So I feel like Bobby Lashley's going to retain. Would like to get the title back on Drew, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see them putting the title on Strowman right now either, so Bobby Lashley has to retain them at that point, you would think. Because there's, no other way to have him win or lose at that point. So, choo-choo, here comes the monster among men on the Strowman Express. But, with Lashley's title reign, this run he's on right now is champ. Breaking up the Hurt Business. Maybe MVP finally turns on him. MVP gets a title shot. I don't know. You got to sell Hell in a Cell, though, for next month now, too. So maybe, like I said, Lesnar's coming back after this match. Maybe tomorrow night on Raw. Maybe not until next month. Maybe not for a few more months. Who knows? Maybe he's never coming back, for all we know. But, like I said earlier, there's a few potential contenders that could challenge for all these championships and all these storyline feuds that they got going for them right now in the WWE and all pro wrestling for that. So excited for this triple threat match. Even more excited, I would think, though, for Reigns and Cesaro, with Seth Rollins getting involved in that, I would think. But I've been wrong with people potentially getting involved in all these matches so far tonight, because none of it's really happened. But you got to save the best for last sometimes, and now we're in the main event picture. So co-main event, WWE Triple Threat Championship match with Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, and Drew McIntyre. Here comes the almighty WWE Champion, Bobby Lashley. Then Reigns and Cesaro. Maybe even something in between backstage. And then more video package, vignette highlights. Promoting this, promoting that. But we'll see. So as Bobby Lashley walks to the ring once more, sorry for any technical difficulties. See, that's what it normally does if it goes out. It'll buffer, disconnect there real quick until I got to reconnect it, and then, you know, you'll see the slow-mo of me sitting back. But WWE Championship on the line. Up for grabs here. Lashley, McIntyre, and Strowman. Two bald guys and a guy with very long hair. Lashley getting some pyro as well. And the big dog going to join us just in time for these two championship matchups. But his championship match, his championship title defense, I should say, is not until after this. So, yeah, two bald guys, two guys with beards, and then one guy with very long hair. An MVP in a suit with short hair and a beard. So we're going to get introduced to McIntyre, Strowman, and Bob Lashley. MVP with a stick. So, hashtag WWE title now. They're going to change up the hashtags on us. But as we hit 9 o'clock on the East Coast, as mentioned, in my opinion at least, everybody has their own opinion. My eyes, WrestleMania Backlash, damn good show to this point. And with these two championship coming event matches still to come, only going to get better, you would think. I mean, really, to this point, the only big swerve was getting zombies instead of lumberjacks and finding out Hell in a Cell's next month. So, hey, they're keeping us on the edge of our seats as always. So, Lashley, McIntyre, and Strowman introduced. Bell is going to ring, and this WWE Championship Triple Threat matchup is now officially underway. They all just stand there, though, staring down at each other. Lashley wants to shake hands with Drew. Braun goes right after Drew, and then Bob Lashley. Corner to corner for Braun. And then DDT from Lashley. So it'll be Lashley and McIntyre. And now they're both going to work together for the time being and going after the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, until Braun slaps Drew, has him around the neck, and chokeslam him, and then Lashley breaks it up. Lashley attacking Braun now. Now, here we go. Lashley and McIntyre working together against Braun Strowman. And Strowman back to the clean, shaved head. And vertical suplex. McIntyre taking orders from Lashley here. They're going to go for a double vertical suplex or double DDT. Double vertical suplex from Lashley and McIntyre to Braun Strowman. They hold him in the air, though, for about 5 seconds before they slam him down. And now Lashley and McIntyre going at it. Rights and lefts, back and forth off the ropes they go. And a nice power slam there by Drew. And then a headbutt, Glasgow kiss from McIntyre to Strowman, who's back in the ring as well. Lashley ringside, pulling Drew with him. Headbutt off of the ring apron into the barricade now. Spawning first. He goes. We may have to rebuild the Thunderdome after these three are done with each other. Well, we still got the Universal Championship match to come, so they're not going to tear down the house until then, I would think. Strowman, a nice tackle there off the ring apron. Of course, Graves is just saying that to make the match and the feel to it. Sell it a little bit more, long story short. Yeah, Drew and Bobby fighting ringside, and then a tackle off the ring apron from Strowman. And Drew thrown up the ramp. Strowman, big choke slam to Bobby Lashley. Cover. 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. Drew off the top rope with a nice crossbody, taking out both Bobby and Braun. As we have the BMB and a triple threat WWE title match here at WrestleMania Backlash. And no, that's not the Bret Michaels Band or Poison. That is Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman. Nice kip up there by Drew after a nice clothesline to Bobby Lashley, and then a neck breaker Strowman. 1, 2, and then Lashley breaks the count. So this championship match will in fact continue. Freakish strength. He barely picked him up. It was a botched, whatever the hell it was supposed to be. Power slam by Lashley and then a kick out by Braun at 2. See a replay of it. Yeah, he barely picked him up and slammed him down. But hey, if that's how they want to sell it, so be it. MVP ringside here, right next to Bobby Lashley, as he throws McIntyre into the barricade. Braun's on the other side of the ring, behind the steel steps, it looks like. Lashley gonna face first McIntyre into the steel post. Braun's gonna go with those steel steps because it's a triple threat match, anything goes. Right to the head of Bobby Lashley. I thought he was going to go shoulder tackle running, but 2 steel step shots, from Strowman to Lashley. First one caught him by surprise. Second one was probably the better of the 2. And then, what, did Drew just hit Lashley with a kick or a punch, or did he miss with something? And okay, all right, McIntyre just sent Strowman over the barricade, and now he's working Lashley up the ramp with some rights and lefts. So the steel steps are sitting there in the middle of the ramp. What, is McIntyre going to hit a DDT to Lashley on the ramp or a vertical suplex here? MVP watches. Lashley going to reverse it. Vertical suplex on the ramp from Lashley to McIntyre as they kick those steel steps out of the way as well. So Strowman was sent ringside over the barricade by McIntyre with that kick. And yeah, it is triple threat. Anything goes. Drew now next to the virtual fans in the Thunderdome as they're working the LED boards up by the entrance now. They're probably, where's Braun at? There's MVP. Headbutt from Drew to Lashley on a reversal. Lashley being thrown into those LED boards now. Strowman's going to come running and take them both out. McIntyre going to throw Lashley. Jesus Christ. McIntyre throws Lashley through the screen as we have some sparks. So basically, Lashley's out of the equation right now. And we're down to McIntyre and Strowman. And if McIntyre can get back to the ring, can't win by count out because Lashley just retained. But if he can get back to the ring, Strowman's going to be down there somewhere. Maybe Strowman, once he does walk back down, he'll come out of nowhere and hit him with a shoulder tackle. But yeah, a few replays, they'll be showing that from now until they want to quit showing it. For weeks and months to come, McIntyre throwing Lashley through the LED board in the Thunderdome night WrestleMania Backlash. Hashtag WWE title when you share on social media as well. Here comes Strowman. All right, Strowman with wasn't that big of a running shoulder tackle, but he does take down Drew McIntyre at the top of the ramp, and now he's going to throw Drew down the ramp as he's rolling and rolling and rolling down back to the ring. And there's that running shoulder tackle from Braun to Drew as Braun just ran down the ramp, shoulder tackle to McIntyre into the side of the ring. And Lashley, as mentioned, is basically out of the equation for now until he gets back into it. And then he probably won't be seen until the finish, and he'll pick up a cheap win and retain his WWE title, I bet. Keep him out of it for now. Let McIntyre and Strowman go at it, wear each other out, and then I come in 1, 2, 3 and retain. Braun with a chop and then a senton off the ropes. Cover 1, 2, kick out at 2.5 by Drew McIntyre. Gonna get another vertical suplex here. Actually, Braun reverses. Big right hand to Drew. McIntyre moves out of the corner. Braun. Jesus Christ. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2.5. I thought McIntyre was gonna win. See a replay of this. Yeah, Drew's in the corner, moved out of the way. Braun into the turnbuckles, and then Drew picked him up, slammed him down. Cover 1, 2, and a kick out. So when's Lashley coming back? That's the question now. Okay, Braun just threw Drew over the top rope ringside. Braun gonna exit the ring. You can see MVP up by the entrance, just standing there all by his lonesome, waiting for Bobby Lashley to get back. Strowman gonna turn on the Jets here, go for a little bit of a run. Shoulder tackle, no. Drew catches him. Suplex to Braun. Two monsters just throwing each other all to hell. See a replay of that. Yeah, Braun was a few inches away from being thrown right on his head. Drew aiming Braun up for another kick. No. Braun going to catch him. Power bomb through the announce table from Strowman to McIntyre. We could see a count out, a triple count out with all these three. With all three of them down and out, Lashley's going to retain. Good sequence. This is an awesome chance from the crowd. Whether they're actually live or being piped in, I don't know. But McIntyre went for another kick. Strowman this time catches him. Power bombs him through the announce table. Braun going to rip his shirt off now. Lashley still down and out up by the entrance, being thrown through that LED board in the Thunderdome. Strowman might be close to picking up the WWE title for the first time ever. Last year at Backlash, he faced Miz and Morrison in a 2-on-1 handicap match for the Universal title. That's it, says Braun. We're done. Braun picks Drew up. Off the ropes they go. And a Claymore for the third time connects. And then here comes Bobby Lashley. Lashley out of nowhere throws Drew out of the ring. Spear to Braun Strowman. Cover. 1, 2, 3. Lashley wins. Jesus Christ, what a cheap fucking win. You can't get more cheap than that. And this is not the dollar store. Come on. Really? You had to have it happen like that? I mean, I said something similar to that, if I'm not mistaken. And that's exactly what happened. Jesus Christ. Well, the way that happened, and I know I said Drew doesn't deserve to be, if he loses tonight, again, deserve to be in the WWE title picture moving forward. McIntyre deserves another rematch. He did not take the pin. Strowman did. So I said 3 Claymore kicks connected. 2 of them did, because the second or the third, that's when Braun powerbombed him through the announce table. Lashley hadn't been seen since Drew threw him through the goddamn LED board up by the entrance. And then off the ropes, McIntyre and Strowman went. Claymore connected. So 2 Claymores from Drew to Braun. 1 over the barricade, 1 in the ring. And then as soon as the second one hit, the third of the 3 that Drew attempted tonight, in the ring, Lashley out of nowhere throws Drew over the top rope ringside. Spear from Lashley to Strowman in the middle of the ring. Cover 1, 2, 3. Bobby Lashley still your WWE champion. Jesus Christ, what a cheap win. Cheap. Good match, but finish, come on. Bobby Lashley still WWE champion. But just absolutely pathetic. They're saying he's the almighty one. He's one of the best WWE champions in quite some time. Bullshit. His title reign is absolute trash. He has not done a goddamn thing. And they need to get the title off him sooner rather than later. They fade to black, nothing happens. We're going to cut to a commercial on the WWE Network on Peacock, and we'll have our main event coming up next. Maybe in a Hell in a Cell, McIntyre. Just as he lost the WWE title to Orton last year, had that pay-per-view, and that very structure, before he won it back, and then held it until he lost to The Miz with that cash-in. Maybe he wins back the WWE title inside Hell in a Cell against Lashley next month, if they're going to continue it. I'd be fine with that. You know, as much as I want McIntyre Sheamus for the U.S. title, the way that ended, McIntyre deserves another WWE Championship match against Bobby Lashley. Hell in a Cell, live Sunday, June the 20th. That'll be the next main roster pay-per-view. And now back ringside to commentary with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, as the announce table has been demolished. We'll have Roman Reigns and Cesaro coming up next in the main event Universal Championship match. Five weeks from tonight, Hell in a Cell is in June this year. Hell in a Cell on the WWE Network on Peacock from the WWE Thunderdome, June the 20th. 2 weeks from tonight, though. AEW Double or Nothing. A week before Hell in a Cell. 4 weeks from tonight, then. June 13th, WWE NXT TakeOver in your house. And then June the 20th, WWE Hell in a Cell. However, tonight, in the main event of the evening for WWE WrestleMania Backlash, it'll be the big dog, tribal chief, who's at the head of the table that we should all acknowledge. Roman Reigns, he'll defend his Universal title against Cesaro coming up next. So once more, thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube of WWE WrestleMania Backlash. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. That thumbs up button. Share hashtag WWE, hashtag WM Backlash for WrestleMania Backlash once more. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers, always greatly appreciated. Video package now for Reigns and Cesaro for the Universal Championship matchup coming up next. But post WrestleMania Backlash this evening, once we go off the air, we'll have a full recap of the pay-per-view event from tonight. So stay tuned if you're just now tuning in. But thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch-along reactions once more of WWE WrestleMania Backlash. This will be on the road after tonight's pay-per-view event, on the road to Hell in a Cell. We just saw the return of Jimmy Uso, nobody's bitch, with the right-hand man Jey Uso still by Roman's side. There's tension with the family, though, right now. Are they all on the same page? Are they all together? Is Jimmy against them? 2 straight weeks, though, on SmackDown. They've all, in the end, come to the aid of the Universal Champion. So, I said earlier, it'd make most sense to keep them together, make Roman look even stronger than what he already is, have them defeat the Mysterios now at some point down the line for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, and, you know, go from there. Reigns is no way in hell losing this title night. Cesaro might win by DQ, and that's with Uso interference, maybe even a Seth Rollins distraction. But Reigns is going to walk out of WrestleMania Backlash tonight still WWE Universal Champion one way or another. So I'll leave it at that, and we'll get the head of the table against the Swiss Superman. As Cesaro's finally getting a championship match. Single championship match, I should say. During a main roster pay-per-view. How many times does he uppercut Reigns? How many times does he swing him? That's a big question to have him be in control, do what he wants to do. But as Strowman stood tall on Raw last week, Cesaro stood tall also on SmackDown. Lashley just retained. Reigns is going to retain one way or another here. Just a matter how they have the finish go. But hopefully it won't be as cheap as Bobby Lashley picking up the win and retaining. But you never know. So we'll see what happens here. So main event time, yeah, we'll probably have about a half-hour match. We'll go to 10 o'clock in a bit. It's almost 9:30. So it'll be Cesaro going against Roman Reigns for the Universal title here tonight in the final matchup of WrestleMania Backlash. And I wonder why, you know, with Hell in a Cell coming out next month, they bumped that up. You know, unless they're going to get Taker and Mankind involved. If it's, I don't know if it's going to be to the day of the anniversary of, you know, that happening, with Taker throwing him off Hell in a Cell or not. It very well could be June the 20th. And if it is, maybe they're both involved as, like, special enforcers of some type. So Cesaro in the ring. We got back in Gorilla now Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and the right-hand man Jey Uso. Nobody's bitch Jimmy Uso, nowhere to be seen. What's Reigns going to tell him? Hey, I got this on my own, I need you. Reigns telling Jey Uso, hey, why don't you go find nobody's bitch Jimmy Uso? So it'll be Roman Reigns at the head of the table coming out by himself with his new entrance music as well. And it's actually not that bad. He's had it now for the past few weeks. You still got the Shield sound to it about midway through. Like right there. As here comes Roman Reigns. So I don't mind the new entrance music at first. You know, like the first week. Like, no, keep it. But growing on me over the past few weeks now, it actually isn't that bad as mentioned. Actually might be even a little bit better. Because they're still trying to distance themselves from the past. And up until when he became champion at Payback a week after SummerSlam last August. And this is why Reigns is at the top right now, the best Reigns we've ever seen, is because until then, he never changed. He's changed so much now in the past almost 10 to 12 months. And the music was one of the last parts to it. And they just did that post-WrestleMania. And, you know, he's still head of the table. If they can only put the Usos back together now, make him look even bigger and stronger than what he already is, he's not going to lose this title until they feel there's somebody that, you know, could come in, whether it's The Rock or not, to defeat Reigns. But then they bring in The Rock in. And he defeats Reigns, or even if he doesn't beat Reigns is top dog at that point. He might hold this title for years, for God's sakes. Because seriously, who the hell is going to beat Roman Reigns right now? Nobody. Call up Jim Harbaugh. He'll tell you nobody's got it better than him right now. So Reigns is going to retain. On paper, he might officially lose by DQ with Cesaro picking up the win, because we could see some interference, as mentioned, with the Usos or even Seth Rollins. Keep Rollins, Cesaro going. But, or maybe even Rollins attacks Reigns, and then we get Rollins Reigns for the Universal title on SmackDown. Aleister Black's been teasing he's, going to be going after somebody, but who that is, we don't know. So there's a lot of different options they could go with moving forward. But Reigns is going to walk out, as mentioned, of WrestleMania Backlash tonight from the WWE Thunderdome, still Universal Champion, one way or another. He's definitely going to hold this title, I would think, until at least till the end of the year. On the road to WrestleMania 38 next year. Maybe even on to 39 the following year, for God's sakes. Because they go 38, have him retain the title then, next April in Dallas. Do what they did with Rock and Cena. Tease it, hype it up for a year, and then 39 out in LA, because Rock's, most well-known, most recognized, highest paid top actor in Hollywood right now, however you want to put it. Whether he's the best or not, he's top dog in his category, as he was in WWE before as well. Have him come out at the end of 38, and then they go from 38 to 39, knowing we're getting Reigns and Rock. Just because history repeats itself. So Cesaro and Reigns get introduced. 9:30. We're going to have a half-hour match here. And this will be for the SmackDown Universal Championship, as they're calling it tonight, with 3D graphic. Hashtag Universal title when you share on social media. And bell rings, match underway. Roman Reigns, Cesaro for the Universal Championship tonight at WrestleMania Backlash. They lock up. Maybe even Lesnar comes out to Reigns because, with the Paul Heyman connection. They lock up again. Roman Reigns and Cesaro. Paul Heyman ringside. The Usos, they'll probably come out together, help out Reigns. We still could get Rollins. Maybe even Daniel Bryan. His contract ran up. Maybe he's since re-signed. We just don't know. Maybe he's going to come out and attack Roman Reigns, and they'll continue that. Nice shoulder tackle off the ropes from Reigns. Cover, kick out at one. Headlock. I think McAfee's having some tech issues with his mic. Cesaro, kick out at one by Reigns. Quick roll up, kick out at one by Reigns once more. Another quick roll up, another kick out at one by Roman. Yeah, McAfee's having some trouble with his headset. Reigns over there talking with Paul Heyman. So Cesaro's in the ring, awaiting Roman Reigns' return. Elbow to the side of the head of Cesaro. Into the corner they go. Off the ropes. Clothesline misses Cesaro with that corkscrew. Taking out Roman Reigns as Paul Heyman looks on. Cesaro gonna take Roman Reigns for a little bit of a swing ride. And then Reigns with a big boot. Reigns gonna throw Cesaro through the ropes ringside. He's holding on to that right arm of his. Cesaro, hey, I'm all right. He's getting counted out by the ref, though, in the meantime, up to 6. Hopefully Cesaro's not hurt now. Like, legitimately hurt. Hopefully he's not. Hopefully they'll play it out storyline. You know, there is a little bit of injury, some damage, but some uppercuts now from Cesaro. He looks fine. He said he was all right. He waved them off. And then a big clothesline from Reigns. And then Reigns going to throw Cesaro into the steel post. 1 count from the official. Make that a 2 count. And then Reigns talking with Cole and McAfee. Michael Cole just called Roman Reigns the most dominant champion that he's ever seen in WWE. I don't know about that, but alright. He's getting there, but he's not there yet. But this is what they want from Roman Reigns. But how much of it's going to backfire when they get back to live fans? Probably none of it, because they're not going to care. He'll go out, get booed for 2 hours, and then that's the show. Headlock by Reigns. Cesaro trying to escape. Because we've seen it time and time again. You know? But, like, as much as you want to hate Reigns, you gotta love him. Like, honestly, this is the best Reigns has ever been. And it's just only going to get better because the Usos are back in full force. And hopefully they will, you know, move it forward as, hey, we are back together. We're going to win the tag team titles. And this family, this bloodline that puts food on everybody's table. Because we're at the head of the table. We're going to be draped in gold. So vertical suplex, kick out. Cesaro getting back to his feet. Nice right hand there for him. More so than not from Reigns to Cesaro now in the corner. 3 count from the ref to get Reigns off of him. Punch to the gut. Cesaro used to be a Paul Heyman guy as well. So this is a Paul Heyman match in the main event of WrestleMania Backlash tonight. Off the ropes. Nice big clothesline there from Reigns. Cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Cesaro. Cesaro with a shove, and then Reigns just clobbering Cesaro. Has him in a headlock. Back on their feet. Kick from Cesaro. Left hand from Cesaro. Uppercut from Cesaro. Reigns shoves him into the ropes. Samoan drop. Cover. 1, 2, kick out. So when are the Usos going to come out and screw over Cesaro? When's Rollins going to come out as well? Those are the questions now. As I would say, we're about halfway through this match. Reigns lining up for a Superman punch, jerking off his arm. Misses, off the ropes. Cesaro, uppercut, out of the air. And now they're both down and out. And mid-air, Cesaro with an uppercut. Reigns talking with himself. So we've seen a few uppercuts, but no swings yet from Cesaro. Now he's going to go from corner to corner and hit uppercuts on Roman Reigns. And now off the ropes, big boot, cover, 1, 2, kick out. And now Cesaro is going to take Roman Reigns for a swing. Or maybe put him in a submission first. Kick to the back of the left leg. Sharpshooter locked in. Reigns taps out. He loses. Rope break. That was quick. Cesaro looks to be cut across the right cheek. Cesaro over the top rope. They rebuilt the announce table in the meantime. Takes out Reigns ringside. Reigns looks to be cut up on his back. His right shoulder. So we could get some blood in this. Cesaro rolls Reigns back in the ring, but he rolls through out the other side. Cesaro now going to follow. Shrugs his shoulders, all right. Uppercut to Reigns into the barricade ringside. Now back into the ring goes Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman getting the hell out of the way in the meantime too. Cesaro going to go off the top rope. Cesaro off the top rope. Crossbody cover, 1, 2, and a kick out at 2.5. Reigns gets pinned. Reigns taps out. He loses his Universal Championship. However, that's not going to happen, believe me. Roman Reigns is no way in hell losing tonight. Even though Cesaro, no doubt about it, deserves it, he's not losing. And he's not going to beat Roman Reigns. Cesaro now going up top again. Reigns fighting back. Ref putting on some gloves, so there is blood. I don't know who's bleeding, but there is blood. Reigns is bleeding from his stomach. Big kick there from Reigns again. 4 count from the ref. Breaks the hold. Really working that right arm now, Cesaro. Yeah, he didn't let go on that. He held on the whole way. Yeah, Cesaro, it's his, I don't know if his arm's out of socket or not, but it looks like it's his right elbow. Drive by there from Reigns. Shoulder first for Cesaro into the steel post. Now back into the ring they go. Cover. 1, kick out. And now Cesaro is bleeding as well. And Cesaro's really holding on to that right arm now. Reigns is just laughing at him. See what I did to you? Cesaro, see what I'm going to do to you here? Right hand. Can he pick him up and swing him still? I mean, he's really selling that right arm, but I don't know much how of that is him selling or, because when he landed on that, he was in some pain there for a little bit. But they're really working this right arm now, so just, of course, part of the story here tonight, part of the match. Probably the plan from the get-go. Reigns, really working that right arm of Cesaro. Cesaro with a headbutt, uppercut, off the ropes, clothesline from Reigns, cover, 1, 2, kick out, 2.5. All right. Reigns just staring him down, smiling at him. We should be hitting the go home here soon, you would think. I love wrestling. It's fun for me, says Roman Reigns. Right hand. Another right hand from Reigns. Knee to the face as well. Forearm. Left knee. Right knee. Right knee. Kicks to the gut in the corner. Ref gonna pull Reigns off. He gets counted out like that, he's gonna lose as well. Off the ropes goes Cesaro. Big boot there by Roman. Cesaro's beat and battered here pretty bad. Roman Reigns, hey, you understand me? I got a lot of responsibilities. Next one right now is me beating you. Headbutt from Reigns in the corner. Some more kicks into the midsection of Cesaro as well. Pat McAfee just brought up Daniel Bryan. So even though technically, so we know he's not under contract anymore, they're still talking about Daniel Bryan in this story. Elbow from Cesaro. Uppercut from Cesaro. He's starting to fight back now. Some kicks. Big clothesline from Antonio Cesaro as he's really down and out, holding that right arm now. In severe pain. Reigns checking in on his jaw. Making sure he didn't just break his jaw. Cesaro's got like blood marks on his right arm near his elbow, but they look like they're coming from inside of his arm. So I don't know if he popped a vein or popped a blood vessel by any means, but that's what it looks like. Now they're on their hands and knees, headbutts, rights and lefts, back and forth. Punch to the gut once more. Another uppercut right to the chest. Not even to the neck, to the chest of Reigns. Uppercut into the corner. Now Cesaro's going all at it. 3 count from the official. He backs off. Now off the top rope. Suplex from Cesaro to Reigns. Cover. 1, 2. Kick out at 2.5. That was close. Thought maybe there for a second he was going to win the title. That's the thing. You know, it's got to be believable. You got to buy in. You got to sell it. You got to make people believe. That was close. Cesaro with some kicks. Now stomping on the chest. Ref actually counts 1, 2, and then a stomp from Cesaro. No submission yet, or no swings either. Neutralizer though, for the first time, not going to connect. Reigns with a right hand on the reversal. Reigns now with an arm bar locked in, that right arm of Cesaro. Cesaro taps out, he loses. Cesaro going to roll it through, cover. 1, 2, kick out by Reigns. Reigns misses with a clothesline. Cesaro off the rope, but then Reigns hits him with a Superman punch. Cover. 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. Cesaro kicks out. This match going to continue. So, out of midair once more, Superman punch from Reigns to Cesaro off the ropes, and then a kick out at 2 on that pin. That was close. Upstart challenger and Cesaro. Cesaro's been around for a while, Michael Cole, so I'd watch what you say. And he's finally, you know, being put where he belongs. And this is where he needs to stay. But we all know that's not going to happen with the way the booking is. Reigns going to go for a Superman punch and a spear here. Ooh, ah. Spear misses, uppercut on the reversal. And then Reigns off the ropes. Cesaro picks him up but can't. And then a DDT, well, into the submission. What is this, Hell's Gate? Reigns has Cesaro in a submission right now in the middle of the ring. Cesaro standing up though, picking Reigns up. Power slams him down. And now he's going to cover him. 1, 2, and now he's going to put him in a sharpshooter. Cesaro with a few punches now. Sharpshooters locked in for Cesaro and Roman Reigns. Cesaro has the sharpshooter locked in on Roman Reigns. Q, Jimmy and Jey Uso probably, or Seth Rollins. And now Cesaro is going to put a crossface on Reigns. More of a headlock. Rolls it through. Now the crossface is locked in. Reigns might tap out again, but it might not be seen by the official. Reigns trying to get out of this submission. Now is on top of Cesaro. Some forearms right to the face. Alright, so where do you go from here? Reigns gonna pick him up, power slam him. Cover, 1, 2, kick out by Cesaro again. Reigns can't believe it. Reigns now back on top of Cesaro. Forearms right to the face. Cover, 1, no. And then Cesaro pulls him through, but then Reigns right from behind takes him down again. Well, we got a double pin right now. Cover 1, 2, 3, but they don't count. And then Reigns still has them locked in. They're going to work that right arm again, probably. See if Cesaro can, and then he'll hold it, but then he'll probably drop it. And then they'll call for the bell here, maybe. Cesaro trying to get to his feet, picking up Roman Reigns. Power slams him down, but Reigns still has his submission locked in. Reigns actually lets go. Now we don't have a pin or anything. They're just sitting there. Submission back locked in on Cesaro. Here before too long, he's going to go out. The ref's going to check in on that right arm. Try to drop it. He'll hold it, and then he'll probably drop it, and that's how it'll end here. Reigns still has this locked in, but Cesaro's getting out of it again. Jesus Christ. Cesaro's not moving now. Ref calls for the bell. That does it. Roman Reigns makes Cesaro go to sleep. He submits him. Roman Reigns retains his Universal Championship tonight in the main event of WrestleMania Backlash, defeating Cesaro. With no help from the Usos, no interference from Seth Rollins, So match over with. Cesaro now comes 2. I don't think he realizes he's lost, but Roman Reigns has retained. Roman Reigns has won. He is still WWE Universal Champion. So what's next for Roman Reigns, though? That's the question. Just as we said the same thing last month, what's next for Roman Reigns? Well, it was Cesaro. Now on to Hell in a Cell. What's next for Roman Reigns? We'll see. But Reigns defeats Cesaro tonight to close out WrestleMania Backlash. How do you stop Roman Reigns? You know, who's it going to be to, eventually beat the Tribal Chief? Here comes the right-hand man, Jey Uso. He's got, what looks to be a bandana, if I'm not mistaken. Or, no, those are, they're going to don Roman Reigns with a red necklace. No Jimmy Uso, though, just Jey. As the right-hand man, still the right-hand man. They'll play this out. As actually Jey Uso super kick to Cesaro. So, beat down post-match now. And now the ref comes in. Hey, get off of him. Jey Uso going to go up top for a splash. Maybe this is when Jimmy comes out, tells him to stop. And then there's going to be tension with the family before they come together. Here comes Seth frickin' Rollins, burning it down. Rollins in his white suit. He's got some blue, yellow, and orange in it as well. The Messiah, Seth frickin' Rollins, coming out to Roman Reigns after he defeated Cesaro tonight at WrestleMania Backlash. And now, one-on-one, face-to-face, Seth Rollins staring down Roman Reigns. Cesaro was just being beat down by Jey Uso. Rollins laughs with Reigns, and now Rollins attacking Cesaro. So what? Is Rollins aligning himself with the family with Roman Reigns now? And then, eventually he'll turn on him. And maybe we get Reigns and Rollins at SummerSlam for the Universal title now. Rollins attacking Cesaro post-match, throwing him all over the place now, ringside over the announce table. Really working that right arm. So they'll continue this Rollins-Cesaro feud for the time being. But still, really, what the hell? They had a tech issue on their end. WWE Network on Peacock. Rollins now with a steel chair. They brought up the graphic for all the screens that you would see in the production truck. But Rollins with a steel chair attacking Cesaro now, ringside. They're going to really work this right arm of Cesaro in this story. Just as Rollins with a steel chair took out the eye, Rey Mysterio is going to take off the arm of Cesaro tonight at Backlash. But who's next for Reigns? Who's going to challenge Reigns? Who's going to beat him? Who's going to try to beat him and end up losing? Rollins tells Cesaro, listen to me. I'm Seth frickin' Rollins. Nobody's something. Didn't catch exactly everything he said, but whacks Cesaro as he had that right arm in the steel chair off the steel post. Rollins in his drip. Stomp on the floor on the chair ringside to Cesaro. Cesaro looks like Rollins, excuse me, just looks like he came from a painting class and he got his suit all dirty. That's what it looks like. You suck chance for Rollins. Rollins is heel, no doubt. And they fade to black. And that seems to do it for WWE WrestleMania Backlash on the WWE Network on Peacock tonight. So they'll continue Rollins and Cesaro, it looks like. Maybe that'll be a Hell in a Cell match next month. Who's next for Roman Reigns, though? That's the question. Reigns, you would think, is going to defend the Universal title inside of Hell in a Cell next month as well. Maybe it's Aleister Black. Maybe it's Daniel Bryan if he's going to return. Maybe it's a triple threat with Reigns, Rollins, and Cesaro. I think come SummerSlam, though, we could get a triple threat with those three if we don't get it sooner. And then, since Cesaro got his title shot tonight, unless they're going to have Cesaro, and now we got the post-match WWE bump for post WrestleMania Backlash tonight on the network. But so that's it for the show. Yeah, so about a 3-hour show, a little over a 3-hour show. Because Cesaro got his title shot tonight, okay, Rollins reigns at SummerSlam, but maybe Cesaro wins the title at SummerSlam. Maybe they have him win a championship when they do return to live fans, whether it's Universal title or not. We'll see. Because he's going to be so over. As Reigns will be too, but he's going to get booed out of the goddamn building. We all know it. When the time comes. When that officially is, they haven't made any announcement by any means yet, so we'll get there when we get there. But tonight, WWE WrestleMania Backlash. Pretty good show. Honestly, a pretty damn good show, I thought. Started off with a triple threat championship match with the Raw Women's title on the line, with Rhea Ripley defeating and retaining her title against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. We'll see if Alexa Bliss or even Becky Lynch get involved in that one way or another. I don't think Becky's going to return now until SummerSlam. Because it seems to me Rhea and Charlotte are going to be the go-to story there. Feud for the Raw Women's title. Asuka maybe with Io Shirai. Once again for those WWE Women's Tag Team titles up against Natalya and Tamina now after they defeated Nia and Shayna. Maybe Shayna gets inserted into the one of the main championship feuds in the women's division. We'll see. But then you have Alexa Bliss with Lily. Who's Lily? If it's going to be Nikki Cross, maybe that's the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Who knows? But yeah, Rhea won. All my picks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect night. And I had that happen in quite a while. So yeah, just a quick recap here. Close it out. Overall, yeah, pretty good show. 2 women's championship matches, 2 men's championship matches as well. We had 2 triple threat championship matches and 2 single championship matches. The 2 triple threat were from Monday Night Raw. The 2 singles were from SmackDown. We also had a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match as well. A Zombie Lumberjack match too. Where to even begin other than, of course, at the start with what I just mentioned there with the triple threat women's championship match. We'll start with the 2 biggest swerves and probably end with it too, especially for the latter of this upcoming few sentences I'm about to say. the two biggest swerves of the night, I thought, were okay. The Lumberjack match ended up being a zombie match because they were promoting Batista's new movie, and the Lumberjacks were zombies, and Damian Priest in that match defeated The Miz. We didn't have anybody turn on one another. We didn't have really any returns. We had a beatdown post match to close out the show with Jey Uso, not Jimmy, so nobody's bitch nowhere to be found. But the right hand man attacked Cesaro, and then Rollins came out and attacked Cesaro as well. Seth freaking Rollins attacked Cesaro to close out the show, as Reigns and company were long gone by that point. So they faded black with Rollins staying in the ring after he beat down Cesaro to close out the show. But the two biggest swerves of the night, I thought, in my opinion, at least it hasn't been in my eyes, were one, okay, they advertised it as a Lumberjack match. The Lumberjacks ended up being zombies. Was not expecting that, along with not expecting Hell in a Cell to be the next pay-per-view next month on June the 20th. So, live reactions play a week from Friday, AEW Dynamite, WWE Friday Night SmackDown, Friday, May the 28th, Memorial Day weekend, live right here on YouTube. Be sure to tune back in. And then also, at the end of that, we'll have AEW Double or Nothing preview predictions as well for the pay-per-view. That following Sunday, 2 weeks from tonight. But also, June the 13th and June 20th, WWE NXT TakeOver in your house, along with WWE Hell in a Cell. So be sure to tune back in then. So Hell in a Cell is the next pay-per-view following WrestleMania Backlash tonight. So wasn't expecting that. So of course, either expecting Money in the Bank or Extreme Rules. We'll get one of those two, I would think, in July, with the other then in October, taking the place of Hell in a Cell. But only time's going to tell. So overall, WrestleMania Backlash, before we get into full recap here, a very, very good show, I thought. Let me know in the comments below what you thought on a scale of 1 to 10. But yeah, Backlash now on the road to Hell in a Cell with all champions that defended tonight retaining, except for the Dirty Dogs in Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, as they defeated, or were defeated by and lost to the Mysterios, I should say, excuse me. But we'll begin, as mentioned, where it all started back a few hours ago now on the WWE WrestleMania Backlash kickoff pre-show on the WWE Network on Peacock, with Sheamus issuing another open challenge for the United States Championship. He was answered by Ricochet, and the Celtic Warrior defeated the one and only. Sorry for any technical difficulties throughout the middle of the show as well, but we got through one way or another, and hey, that's all that matters. However, for the main card, we had the other actual total 6 matches that we were supposed to get. Of course, the add-in was the kickoff pre-show match. But to kick off the night, it was Rhea Ripley defending her Raw Women's Championship against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Rhea did just that and retained her title, so Rhea Ripley is still your Raw Women's Champion. We then saw the Mysterios defeat Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. However, for the most part of the match, until those technical difficulties began on my end with internet completely going out, we were gone for about 10-15 minutes or so at the max. It was a 2-on-1 handicap match with Rey Mysterio doing most of the work against the Dirty Dogs as Roode and Ziggler attacked Dominic Mysterio during kickoff pre-show, attacked him, and then he didn't come out until a little bit later on, midway towards the end of the match, hit the frog splash, and ended up picking up the win. So Mysterio is your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions as they defeated Roode and Ziggler. If the Usos get back together, put me down to watch any day of the week. I don't care what show, what time it's on. Usos against the Mysterios, for the Usos to win, and then Reigns, of course, in the meantime, to still retain his Universal title, to have the family, the bloodline, at the head of the table with the big dog, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and the right-hand man, Jey Uso, nobody's bitch, Jimmy Uso, draped in gold. We then had the Lumberjack match, which turned into, as mentioned, a zombie lumberjack match with Damian Priest and The Miz. And Priest, as thought, came out on top with the win. Miz didn't turn on John Morrison. John Morrison didn't turn on the Miz, though, so we'll see how much longer they're going to drag this out for. As mentioned earlier, though, too, maybe a little bit of a rebirth for those two if they're going to keep them off TV for a little while moving forward, or potentially rebrand them to what they were as tag team champions back in 2007 and 2008, and potentially boost the Raw tag team division as well. And speaking of the Raw tag team division, we didn't have a Raw tag team championship match tonight or a mid-card championship title defense either until they added in Sheamus on the kickoff pre-show. However, moving forward for the Raw tag team titles, expect RK Bro, Randy Orton, Matt Riddle to challenge AJ Styles and Almost. And then this upcoming Friday night on SmackDown, we'll have a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship with Apollo Crews, Big E, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. That'll be Friday's question of the day, so stay tuned. So, up until that point, we had 3 more matches to go. We had the SmackDown Women's title still to be defended as well with Bianca Belair and Bayley. Surprisingly, no Sasha Banks. Of course, as I said then, maybe they'll be holding that off until this Friday at the earliest on SmackDown, building towards Hell in a Cell, as they'll have to build for all these current storylines and any new storylines they're going to add in, build towards Hell in a Cell now a little over a month from now. But Bianca retained. She's still your SmackDown Women's Champion. And then in the co-main event of the evening before the main event, we had the WWE Championship defended in a triple threat match with Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman. And the Almighty One with a cheap win, defeating the Scottish Psychopath turned Scottish Warrior and the Monster Among Men. We'll see what's next for Lashley. Hopefully McIntyre moves on, but with the way it finished, I did say give him another championship match, give him another rematch. Down for it, no doubt about it. But Sheamus is going to need somebody for the U.S. title. I think McIntyre fits that bill perfectly. Maybe even Keith Lee for Sheamus. Maybe even Jeff Hardy for Sheamus if they want to revisit that story. Don't hinder the Jinder. Jinder Mahal just returned last Monday night on Raw as well. So there's a few different storylines they could move forward with Sheamus as United States champion with his open challenges. Maybe John Cena is going to be coming back, for all we know. Maybe, some more Mansoor, maybe some more Humberto Carrera, some more Ricochet. But maybe even Priest with the win over The Miz. Damian Priest against Sheamus. Miz and Morrison, the Fade feud. Okay, Morrison, Miz. Hope Morrison would come out on top on that. Would get a championship opportunity at some point down the line after then, too. RK Bro, Orton, and Riddle, as mentioned, they need to win the tag team titles because AJ Styles needs to go off and do, what he's good at, being by himself, rather than a damn tag team with a bodyguard and Almost. So they need to still, even though they've sort of fixed the tag team division, they still need to fix it more. They still need to fix the women's division more as well. It's getting better, but, very, very slower than expected. Co-main event was the WWE Championship. It was Lashley, McIntyre, and Strowman. And Lashley, after he got sent through the LED board up by the entrance, about midway through the match, stayed up there until the finish, picked up the cheap win. After a Claymore kick from Drew, threw McIntyre out of the ring as he re-entered, speared Strowman. Lashley 1-2-3, your winner. So maybe Brock Lesnar, maybe the Fiend Bray Wyatt at some point in time returning too. Like I said, with Keith Lee potentially getting involved in that story with Lashley, because like I said, I believe that would sell. To me, it would make more sense to have Lesnar come back, beat Lashley first, and then have Keith Lee challenge Lesnar and have Lesnar put over Keith Lee winning the WWE title at that point. But we haven't seen Keith Lee in months, so who knows what's up with that. And then in the main event of the evening, it was Roman Reigns, your big dog, tribal chief, head of the table, who we should all acknowledge tonight, once again, showed up and won at a WWE pay-per-view in his 40th title matchup. Picked up another win, retaining his Universal title against Cesaro. Reigns defeated the Swiss Superman, unfortunately. Cesaro finally got the opportunity, and hopefully, he won't be going anywhere anytime soon. But post-match, of course, was beat down by Seth Rollins. So the architect, Mr. Nickname as I like to call him, Seth frickin' Rollins, burned it down to close out WWE WrestleMania Backlash this evening, attacking post-match Cesaro following Cesaro's loss to Roman Reigns in the Universal Championship match. So Reigns is still Universal Champion. But who's next for Reigns? Just as we said a month ago, as mentioned a little bit ago, who was going to be next for Reigns post-WrestleMania? Well, it ended up being Cesaro for WrestleMania Backlash tonight. Who's going to be next for Reigns for Hell in a Cell? Maybe if they speed up Rollins and Cesaro from now until Hell in a Cell, okay, the winner gets Reigns at Hell in a Cell, maybe even triple threat then. Maybe even a triple threat come SummerSlam, as mentioned. Cesaro hopefully will win something at some point in time down the line. But I would think Rollins is going to get Reigns in a one-on-one matchup at the show of shows to close out the summer, the biggest party of the summer in the WWE SummerSlam. But from now until then, there's a few other options for Reigns too, in names like Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura, if in fact the King of Strong Style is in fact back. The thing is, whoever they put up against Reigns from now until whenever the hell they're going to have him lose the title, he's not going to lose the title, okay? And he's not going to be losing this title anytime soon. I know that makes sense, but doesn't make sense. Roman Reigns is not losing the WWE Universal Championship, at least from now, not until the end of the year, at the earliest. Okay? He might even hold this title, as I said earlier, for years and years and years to come, for all we know. Because honestly, and let me know in the comments below if you have a better answer, who the hell is going to beat Roman Reigns? Right now, tomorrow, the next day after that, next week, next month, next year. Who in the hell is going to beat Roman Reigns? The answer is nobody. Okay? Nobody's beating Roman Reigns anytime soon. So, for the time being, Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns are, in fact, your current main event champions on both Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. So, in the end tonight, as mentioned to close out the show, Seth Rollins burned it down, attacking Cesaro post-match after he lost to Roman Reigns. But in the end, I thought WrestleMania Backlash for the WWE this evening, this Sunday night, May the 16th, 2021, was a very damn good show. As mentioned, let me know in the comments below what you thought. And sorry for any technical difficulties throughout the night. And knock on wood, hopefully those don't happen ever again. But hey, it's technology. It is what it is. It's good, but it also sucks when it needs to be good. So I'll leave it at that. But Bobby Lashley is still your WWE champion. Roman Reigns still your WWE Universal Champion. Who's next? Maybe Goldberg is for one or two. For all we know, hopefully not, but who honestly knows? But I'll leave it at that. So, yeah, Lashley's still WWE Champion. Reigns still Universal Champion. And we're on to Hell in a Cell now. So, Hell in a Cell will officially be June the 20th. They made that official tonight. But before then, as mentioned, AEW Dynamite on a Friday night, a week from Friday, because of the NBA playoffs. They'll be on Wednesday this week, but then the week after, before Double or Nothing, they won't be on that Wednesday. They'll be on the Friday, May the 28th, after SmackDown. So SmackDown will be from 8 to 10. Dynamite and AEW will be from 10 to midnight. So I'll have live reactions play then, May the 28th, from 8 to midnight for WWE Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Dynamite with a Double or Nothing preview. And then on Sunday, June the 13th, WWE NXT TakeOver in your house. Sunday, June the 20th, WWE Hell in a Cell. All live reactions, play, live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube. So I hope to see everybody then. As mentioned though earlier, be sure to keep an eye out for 2 football videos in the meantime as well. All you have to do is hit that red subscribe button, little notification bell next to it as well to stay up to date. And thank you for tuning in and watching this evening of WWE WrestleMania Backlash live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube. That'll do it for myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Coolhand Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button, share, chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. Let me know in the comments below, as mentioned, what you thought tonight of WWE WrestleMania Backlash, as we're on to Hell in a Cell. I would assume we'll have 2 championship Hell in a Cell matches with Bobby Lashley defending against somebody, along with Roman Reigns defending against somebody, as well as the WWE titles with the WWE Championship and the WWE Universal title on the line in both those matchups. So about a little over a month away from then, but until then, thank you, and I'll see everybody later. So once more, thank you for tuning in and watching my WWE WrestleMania Backlash live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube, as Bobby Lashley is still your WWE champion, and the big dog, tribal chief, head of the table, who we should all acknowledge, Roman Reigns, is still your WWE Universal Champion after defeating Cesaro. However, post-match, Seth frickin' Rollins burned it down, attacking Cesaro to close out the show. So everybody later, thank you once more for tuning in and watching. Be sure, as always, to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below.